Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Galeria Smite League. It is your boy Cheeto, and we are here today with a lower division match between Protectors of Yggdrasil and Hakai. I'm joined by the Morton brothers, Joe and Ben. How are we both doing today, boys?
Stop!
Let's go!
You two seem very happy to be here.
Yeah, right. We're here, aren't we? We're here. We're here. We're queer. We're ready to watch some Thanatos gaming, mate. Let's go.
Some Thanatos came in. That sounds like fun. It looks like we're going to head straight into picks and bans between the two teams. And straight off the rip, we're going to see a Kronos ban from Protectors of Yggdrasil. What do you think that these guys need to start focusing in terms of these picks and bans going into this new Season 10 of Smite?
Anything with fucking bluestone, mate. If you can build bluestone on it, you're picking it, right? So what? Thanatos in the jungle, early pressure stuff, right? For jungle, Thanatos 4, if you can get him, still busted. You've got your Willix, you got all sorts of stuff.
Basically anyone that abuses bluestone.
Yeah, same for solo. Bluestone. If you're in mid, bluestone assassins or I don't know, hunters. If not, super safe mages, Yu Huang. ADC, it's whatever. Ishtar, Cern. Shubalanke just got a juicy buff.
The return of the magical ADCs is definitely going to be predominant as well, because I've heard that Soul's really good and stuff like Freya and even an Oleron's supposed to be pretty decent now as well.
It's the new ring that they brought in, isn't it? It's making them very good at the minute.
Cyclopean ring, that is the item. So we're going to look at the rest of these bans, and the first stage is going to be over, and it's going to be Kronos, Geb and Fenrir from Protectors, and it's going to be a Freya, Maui and Ratataska from Hakai. What do you think of these bans?
The rats are targeted.
It's time
right?
to turn this battle.
You only have to go
favor.
through Ghost Rider's Smite Guru history and see the last 50 games he's played. 46 of them, like 46 and a half of them are Ratatoska, So yeah, ban the Ratatoska. I don't disagree with that. You want early pressure. You can use the bluestone. You can just dunk on mid lane or duo at a whim. Yeah, get rid of him.
Yeah, we are going to see a first lock-in, and it's going to be the first pick for Protectors of Yggdrasil, and that's going to be an Athena.
Yeah, Athena. I feel like they should
an odd first pick, in my opinion, but
I would have slammed the 4 or Fana, honestly, top pick.
Yeah.
I was them. I think that's what I mean. I don't know if Ghost Rider plays them, but
you were speaking about Thanatos, and it is going to be picked up first by Hakai.
I will vanquish all evil
we're currently
from this
seeing Yu
world.
Huang also hovered, which is also going to be locked in. So we've got a Thanatos and Yu Huang top 2 for Hakai.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, mate. You got anything to think about that, Joe? It's one of Brett's specialties, isn't it?
Yeah, Yu Huang's a comfort pick for Brett. He's good on the god, so he's a safe god. Puts out a lot of damage, so why not use him?
Yeah, the god has a lot of utility. He's very good in terms of burst damage. He has decent CC as well on top of that. And not only that, but he's very safe because he pretty much has 3 forms of CC immunity along with his all 3 and his beads.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like Yu Huang at the moment with Season 10 and just how nuts the mid lane can be with it being so short, and it's just so easy to gank, honestly. It's just so easy to come in from... Like if you're playing some of these meta picks, you can just sort of come in from back, like from their red buff, like from behind or behind their tower. There's so many easy ways to get into mid and just dunk on someone's head. I really like Yu Huang at the moment. If you're not comfortable playing like assassin mids and stuff, like Yu Huang,
They will all obey their
we're on the
goddess.
term of assassins, and we're going to see a Ravana locked in as well as a Cucullin. Now, me looking at those two, I'm kind of scared because those two gods are very high carry potential gods.
Yeah, and Raven does all right with the bluestone as well. To be fair, like you can use bluestone on him, pump out some damage. He's also got really good fight potential into the Thanatos as well.
Yeah, he definitely has.
So he'll probably have to he'll have to watch his P's and Q's when he's in the jungle, Thanatos. But he should be okay. I think Thanatos offers more to the team as it stands than what Raven does, but I suppose it will come down to the pilot really.
Yeah, wonderful. A god that has made it into third pick, and that's going to be Ishtar. Picked up as the last pick in the first round for Hakai. Probably one of the strongest ADCs in the game right now. Let's not beat around the bush.
Even with the nerf that they've just given her, she's still coming out on top, isn't she, at the minute?
She's very, very strong. We're going to go into the second round of bans now, and we're going to see Ganesha and Kepri bans from Protectors, looking to get rid of some of them support picks. It seems like they are more heavily focusing towards support bans with the Ganesha and Kepri. And on the other hand, we're going to have Hakai banning out 2 ADCs, being Jablonke and Cern, which, let's be honest,
really like them bans.
I like those bans as well. Cern is arguably one of the best gods into Ishtar.
It is time
And Jablonke, I'm pretty sure, is a very high, it's a good comfort pick as well, as a safe pick at the same time, but it has very high carry potential as well if you can get the lead on it.
Jablonke is just also kind of fucking nuts as well, though. To be fair, like, it's so hard with his recent buffs and stuff. Like, I think he's really good, and it's something that Alyssa plays. It's something that she's popped off on. So definitely agree with the ban. And they probably just take what we're looking at next to Rama or something, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to see a locked in for Hakai on. I'm guessing that's going to the solo lane now, based off of the other 2 picks, and then we're going to see Protectors locking their final 2, being Rama and Baba Yaga.
I like the Baba pick into the Yu Huang. I think he's got to be very careful here with how he decides to dash in and out of fights. You know, Baba, he's got a lot of poke.
Something that actually does really well into Baba Yaga has just been picked, and that's Xing Chen. I really like that pick into Baba Yaga. Into their team as a whole, really, though. Xing Chen goes really well into Rama, it goes really well into Baba Yaga. But it also gives the extra bit of appeal as well as the aggression that they're going to need as well.
Yeah, I really like Xing Chen. Xing Chan's fine. I think they're looking to they're just looking to get aggressive, I think, really. Well, they're going to just look to... I mean, the thing is, though, is at the same time, it's going to be hard to really use your ultimate for anything, though, right? Because I don't know if you'll ever really catch a Raven, or if you do, it's going to be hard to follow up on him. The Rama, I suppose he can just ult, and Baba can just go house mode or shed mode.
Shed. Did I hear shed?
Yes,
Shed?
Speaking of sheds.
Shed mode?
Did I hear shed?
On a scale of 1 to
shed,
10,
mate.
Cheeto, how would you rate that shed? I mean, I see a bit of mould on it. What would you do to counteract that mould on the shed?
Look, bro, that's not mould. It's called character. Okay.
Is it the rustic look?
So we're over with picks and bans, and I'm gonna take a guess that we're gonna head into the game. We'll see what these guys are building heading into the first competitive set for these guys in Season 10. It's going to be a standard, pretty standard, no jank stuff in terms of lanes. We're going to see Puko and Izus over in the solo lane, Kukulkan versus Shiva, which I kind of like this lane for Kukulkan.
Kukulkan should kind of just dog him, I think, in that lane. What are they building? Bluestone, blue.
Yeah, the horrific emblem start. Horrific emblem start for Shiva.
That's just Izus, isn't it? Like Izus just does Izus things. So he's even got the attack speed. I don't know if that's something. I don't really play much solo, but I would have assumed that like the Carapace would have been like the one. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what they're using, but
if I were,
maybe you're the solo guy, Joe, right? Or the power one.
I can see what he's trying to do. Like I think the plan is to pull Kukulkan in from memory. It gives protection straight off of the one. Horrific.
Do you know what would be? Do you know what would be very wonderful?
And just basic attacking down, but it all depends if Kukulkan transforms in time or not, doesn't it?
Well, it would be very wonderful if we could see over these walls by clicking the U button. That would be wonderful.
It's Goat Rider almost getting soloed by the quad buffs there. I'm kind of I see. Look, I'm looking at the Raven choice of the Shard, right? And I'm just not really a big fan. Like on the attack speed one, I not on like bursty assassins. I really prefer the Carapace one. I like the prot shred that it gives you. You just do so much damage. You get like 20 flat pen at level 2 as a jungler. It's kind of nuts.
Did Zeus pop is horrific? Yeah, see, he's come
horrific.
He's come straight out of the lane and tried to slow him whilst getting his attack speed buff and tried to kill him before he transformed.
Yeah, it's not awful, to be honest.
It's giving him the pressure. I mean,
I think there's something we've not done so far. It's like Izus, after being memed on for so long, you know, for being a sub and everything like that. And he's playing his, you know, this is his debut game today on the solo lane. It's after all the talk that he's been giving. We should probably hope that he'd pop off. Huh?
I'm going to see an early
Let's go,
brawl
Pax
inside of
King
the jungle,
with
and
the
that's
first
Pax
blood.
King in move.
Let's
Maybe
go.
a first blood, and it is going to come through. Pax King picking up the first blood, and an assist for Brett as well. In the meanwhile, as well.
Great awareness from Brett there to see that going on, making the early rotation.
And making a rotation over towards these camps is the main thing to be noted here, because these mid camps are very predominant around that lane, and it's definitely a flying point to where people should be looking around this mid, not just aimlessly going around poking the mid lane opponent. They're going to be constantly looking around and trying to get something out of this.
Yeah, and honestly, the first blood is absolutely huge from now. They might even catch him out again here on his lefts. They really need to be
for a Thanatos, that is for a certain.
100%.
Yeah, the thing is about those mid neutrals is they're actually really quite tough to kill at the earlier levels as a jungler. So if you are there and you've used your abilities on them, you've taken some damage, and a Thanatos just rocks up, you're kind of fucked, honestly. So good awareness of Pax King then. We should probably, you know, see the mid try and group and help his jungler clear those.
And this is where we see the issue with getting a horrific emblem rather than a TP.
Yeah, we're going to have no TP. It looks like Pax King is going to make the rotation over towards the blue buff, so it's not going to be a free blue buff. Izus is going to be late to this.
Oh, we got it.
The blue buff is going to be dropped.
Use his carapace. He's got. Oh,
needs to be careful here.
Yeah, nice job there, Pax, mate. Did he secure it? I can't see.
No.
It screams like a chessboard for me.
Kool-Aid's still there.
Cullen gets the blue buff. It's kind of nice for him. He uses the carapace really well as well to get those extra protections.
I think with Izus freshly back from base, they probably could have looked at counter invading blue there for themselves. Like Cullen's poked out, right? Thanatos. Oh, here he goes. Yeah. But he might even be able to defend it now. Who knows?
Well, I see about right. Is Cullen straight off the rip upgraded that teleport fully? Oh no, he's just upgraded it to the second tier. We are going to see Izu's taking a fight here on this blue buff, and he isn't going to get the invade through Puko. He's going to confirm his own blue buff. So this could be a little bit rough for Izus now in this matchup.
No. I think Izu's got the invade there.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
You can tell.
Did
he? He's going to go.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Silver. Yeah, he did.
It is silver, yeah.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
That's huge for Shiva. You will know that Kool-Aid don't really need a blue buff.
He gets that little bit of... What does he get, like 2 HP 5?
Yeah, honestly.
I do see a rage coming through though now, and Puko is definitely going to be looking to fight here. It does have a current 2-level lead, which is it's not an awful lot in terms of the early game, but it's definitely going to give this Cullen pressure.
Gotcha.
What's going on in it? All I'm seeing around mid at the moment. I'm seeing Hakai just take every mid neutral. Like so far, they've spawned in once, and they've got all 4 of them, I believe. Potentially, I don't know if Protected Yggdrasil realise maybe the timings are just off or whatever, but they're really, really important that you at least get one of those. You can't just let a team just keep getting those for free, because you're going to start noticing like level differences and stuff like that. It's especially important for a jungler. Like your back camp's now on a 4-minute cooldown timer, and you kind of need to get those because it's a lot of farm you're missing out on.
Yeah, I completely agree. And one thing that is interesting to me is going to be this Baba Yaga opting to go for a soul gem straight off the rip. We are going to see a funeral through, and the dash is going to be caught with the beads also used by Reds Pro. The basics going to come through. Tower dive is going to happen, and Alyssa picks up that kill onto Reds Pro in the duo lane. These bastions are also going to fall at this rate as well, which are very nice. I'm pretty sure it gives 150 gold each.
Yeah, no, 150 for the both.
150 gold for both of them, so 70 gold a piece, 75 gold a piece. It's a large chunk of gold for an ADC. Or is it global?
I'm not too sure.
Or is it just for the person to take it?
And I think, we see it here. Thanatos is lurking. I mean, there's not much point. His team's not really here yet. But Thanatos, I think, needs to kind of put a priority on this, either the mid or the duo lane here, because I think Alyssa's their win condition. I mean, Pucko is also a really strong solo laner, to be fair, but you don't have too much in the way of kill potential.
Yeah,
I want
I
to see
don't
some
think
ganks
they
coming out
need
here,
to.
duo.
We are going to see a blink come through from Pikes King, and he's going to go into Gordon here. Athena is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Nice job.
The ultimate comes through from Pikes King, and it is going to be on the mark. Gordon 96 falls on the Athena, and Pikes is going to pick up another kill here. Currently 2-0 on this Thanatos. It's a very nice start for him.
Yeah,
And
well
we are going to
played
see
there,
Invades
Pax.
looking through as well.
Oh,
Looking
the
for
up
the green
downs. Oh, you got to hit
Scythe
those.
is missed, and it's very unfortunate. Ghost Rider is going to stick around. We're going to see the shell popped by Ghoul Atomics. And
Yeah,
here come the snipes, and Ghost Rider is going to pick up that kill onto Pikes King.
yeah. I think Pax just needs to relax a little bit there. Like he just insta 180 through his scythe. He takes his time, throws it, and just takes his time and connects with that. Even if you want to just walk a little bit closer, he's probably has some kill potential there. He just panicked. I think just panicked, rushed his scythe. I mean, if you're playing Thanatos, you got to hit those scythes. If you ain't hitting those scythes, you just shouldn't be playing him. Honestly. Just a one-off though for now. We'll see how it goes moving forward.
This is where Shiva needs to be a bit careful fighting into the Cuckoo lane now. He's got his contagion online. As soon as he uses his 1 or his 2, that's it. He's taking 200 health tick. He needs to be very careful where he chooses to fight here.
Right. Cool,
It's going to be very interesting to see where solo laners are going. There is a lot of damage coming through from back of Cullen. And what I was going to say is, like solo laners using the totem to be able to damage more of an extent, because you get the damage buff from being inside of the zone of the totem now. It's going to be interesting to see how many people actually realise that. We are going to see a little bit of poke coming through from Brex onto Ghost Rider, but nothing really much. A full kit is thrown into him. I'm guessing the immune is used from him to be able to get rid of that. We are going to see a Jotun's rush from the Thanatos, which is very nice to see. It looks like he's going into maybe a
Bloodforge.
A Bloodforge straight off the rip.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think Jotun's Bloodforge is just an absolutely insane power spike at the moment. Personally, that's been my go-to build. I've been going Jotun's Bloodforge, Hydra's Crusher, stuff like that. I mean, if I can back with like a chunk of gold, I'll get the Hydras first if I can't afford Bloodforge. But yeah, I think that's fine. It's a really good item at the moment. It's cheaper.
Zeus is going to be able to confirm his own blue buff, and we are seeing currently a 2-level lead here now in the solo lane. A purple invade is going to come off as well. Both Gordon and Alyssa are around, but we are going to see the squad roll up in Hakai. Here comes Brex and
Red said with the ult saved the purple.
It does get the purple buff, and it looks like they're just going to go back towards those mid neutrals. Ghost Rider is going to pick up a kill onto Zeus on the other hand, while people were rotating over towards the solo side, the duo side of the map. Gold Fury is going to be picked up by Hakai. This is very brave from them, especially knowing that this Rama ult is going to be up. Instead, we're going to see them drop and go towards a gank on the duo side. Pax is going to take a little bit of poke from this Baba Yaga.
I want to
shoot. Could have probably stuck that a little bit more, Ravana's still in right, Cuckoo Lane's still in right. It's a 4v5.
Yeah, this Cuckoo Lane is going to get a very big lead here, and we are going to see the Gold Fury still held up slightly, and it looks like they're just going to go towards that camp on the duo side. Just kind of hanging around a minute.
Yeah, they're just sort of floating around, not really doing anything. Right. I want to see the Thanatos get more active. I want to see him. He's got his ult and stuff like that. I want him to. He needs to be sat by a lane and just dunking on people's heads. You might not even get the kill, but you'll get relics and you'll give lane pressure. And all I'm seeing right now is just a Rama and Rama just sat on a tower line. And it's not the hardest gank in the world for a Thanatos. To be honest with you, it needs to get more active.
To this Colin here, and it does manage to get out of there. Ultimate is used from Zeus. Maybe are they going to pressure on his blue buff? Thanatos does use the ult here.
Oh, don't go in. Come see if. Oh, Zeus is in.
Mineral is going to be in there, and Zeus is going to take a lot of damage. Taunt is very on point there from Gordon, and the kill is going to go to Puko as well. This is a Cucullen that is looking very scary to me right now.
100%.
Yeah, it was a really weird gank there. It just seemed like one of them say, oh, we're going in, then they say, oh, no, we're not, and then Izus goes, no, fuck you, I'm going in, and Paxkin says, well, fuck you, you're on your own. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, personally, I feel like they should have just disengaged, but they could have. I think if the Fana went in the tower with him now, I think they could have picked up the kill for sure. I think Izu still would have died. I think the Fana should have been able to live. Just weird communication, and we're just seeing leads being generated now everywhere for the side of protectors, and the Thanatos really needs to start getting active, I think.
The one thing I have noticed, which I don't really like, is that Shiva's getting Soul Eater second.
And there is going to be a solo kill over on the duo side of the map now, and the Purple Invade is going to come through once again from Alyssa, who now also has that level lead. We are seeing leads start to generate all around the map now. And we are going to see protectors hang around the Gold Fury. Just kind of leeching it for the moment. Ghost Rider is going to kind of try and zone. Here comes the Cucullin though. This is where the trouble could start to happen. Brex is going to use the immunity very, very early. Ghost Rider is going to be able to pick up a kill onto Pax King. There is good damage coming through from Brex, but not really a great deal going to be able to happen. Izus is going to have to use his ultimate to be able to heal his team. And this is a lot of pressure put on here from Protectors of Yggdrasil. They are going to look towards the Gold Fury once again. This is going to be picked up. Both, all the damage is here now, shall I say, from Protectors, and it is going to burn slowly. But Hakai aren't going to give it up just yet.
Oh,
Izus is going to take a hell of a lot of damage, and the steel does come through from Hakai. We do see Ghoul Atomics fall for that to Alyssa, who is now 2 levels up. Reds Pro is also very, very low. Ghost Rider picking up the kill on him. And I would say that's Puko's also going to pick up a kill onto Izus as well in the middle lane. And I would say even though the steal comes through for Hakai on that Gold Fury, that is 100% worth it for Protectors of Yggdrasil, picking up the 3 for nothing off of that Gold Fury.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know really what on earth they were thinking there, to be honest with you. They just sort of like, oh,
this is going to dash in. The taunt is going to be missed, and ultimate is going to be forced here from Pax King. Alyssa's doing a hell of a lot of damage here with this Atlanta's early, and this is a Rama who is now 3 levels up. We're seeing a Cucullin that's 4 levels up, and even though Pax King got those early couple of kills on this Thanatos, now starting to fall behind, and we're going to see a 2-level lead there in the jungle as well. And the one thing that you hate to see, especially with a Thanatos, is him falling behind.
No, I've said this before in the general chats and stuff like that. I saw that Alyssa got moved down to LD, and I instantly thought to myself, she is gonna absolutely she's just gonna be the bogey woman of LD. Honestly, I think she's an absolute nightmare for LD players, to be honest, because mechanically she's very good. And all I'm seeing right now is their, in my opinion, their hyper carry. Yeah, and no one's rotating to it.
We are going to see Brett turn up here, and damage is going to come through. Ultimate is going to be popped. It is off of the mark, and Ghoul Atomics is also a beautiful taunt there to be able to peel off. Ultimate's also going to be used from Reds Pro there, and Gordon's going to take a little bit of abuse, but he's going to be able to walk out scot-free. Beads are going to be used by the Rama, but in the meanwhile, Protectors are just going to pick up the Pyromancer. Alyssa is still hanging around though, and does also pick up a kill onto Pax King. They are behind the tower, and Hakai really want to take this fight, but I don't think this is going to go well for them, since they have a Rama that's just kind of smoking them, honestly. Yeah, Ultimate is going to come through from Ghoul Atomics and picking up absolutely nothing. Again, it's probably very good value, and now we're seeing a 7,000 gold lead for Protectors of Yggdrasil after 15 minutes. The rest of the team are rotating over now. Just absolutely running at them. No tier 1 tower available for safety. We're seeing a lot of low HP bars from Hakai, and we're just going to see them back it on up. We are going to take a look at these damage numbers while we have a little bit of respite in what's happening here, and we're going to see a lot of damage coming through from this this solo jungle and
ADC going crazy.
He absolutely is, my friend.
You look at the other team, you've got a level 14 Cucullin running at you, and you're level 12/11. He's not nice to see.
Yeah, the thing is, as well, we're in a meta at the moment where it's it's a Bluestone meta. It's kind of the solo jungle show at the moment, and the solo. I mean, Pucko and Ghost Rider are so fed at the moment. I mean, fed comparatively. It's what 16 minutes into the game. They're like 14. So I mean, they're not really farming the greatest, to be honest with you. In fact, they're not really farming very well at all, but they're fed compared to their counterparts, you know. And it's just I think that's just a bit of a fucking nightmare for Hakai, honestly, because, you know, it seems to me that Izu's it's just not building right. I think didn't you just rush Soul Eater like all day long as Shiva?
You either
lane,
go
right?
Soul Eater first or not at all.
He's just thrown his lane by not building. You know,
Soul
Eater,
I think. To get a funeral popped onto him. Izus is going to be forced to ult here. No tier 1 tower for the safety. Taunt is going to come through. It's absolutely beautiful here. It's beautiful play from Protectors, knowing where your leads are and playing out of that. It's just fantastic play from them. We are going to see Fire Giant available and also an Oni Fury on the other side of the map. It's going to be a wonder of seeing where these teams actually look to play on this. Alyssa is going to be forced to ult here in the middle lane. We do see Thanatos up and around. Ultimate's going to come through from the Xing Chen, taking a hell of a lot of damage. Thanatos opts to leave the fight, and we are going to see Ghoul Atomic drop here to Alyssa, who is now incredibly far ahead on this Rama, and just all round, the team fights seem to be going everything in the favour of Protectors Yggdrasil, who are now going to go over towards the Oni Fury. It doesn't look like Hakai wants to give it up though. Ghost Rider is going to hang around. It does have a lot of power right now. I'm pretty sure an ult just got popped there from Reds Pro, which it did. The Ishtar ult is going to fall and is just going to go in here. Ghost Rider does fall though.
Just
to Pax King.
And that gives him some shutdown gold as well, which is huge.
It does give him some shutdown gold. Puko is going to pick up Izus though, and we are going to see Protective Yggdrasil pick up this Oni Fury, still keeping their lead of around 7,000 gold. We're going to see them all back and opt maybe towards this fire side of the map now.
I think they probably should. Yeah, I think they've, they got enough in the way of burn with the Rama and the Baba and stuff. I think they should start looking right, honestly.
Yeah, I mean this Rama is now level. Yeah, this Rama is now level 17, and that is going to be a big issue. I think the main problem is not so much as the Rama, who is doing a lot of damage. It's going to be a lot more based off of this Kakullan, who is going to be able to do some heavy zoning, being level 16, running into an Ishtar who basically tickles him when he's throwing basics at him.
He's got...
Oh, the Ishtar's doing nothing. She's doing more damage to herself now.
We are also going to see Brex having no percent pen yet either. Obviously, he's falling a little bit behind on gold now. We are going to see stancing around the gold to Pyro side, and Brex is actually going to take half of his HP in damage there, and we're just going to see Protectors pick up this Oni Fury free.
What's his gold in hand, Brett? Because he's got 2 items at, 18 minutes, is it? I can't even read it. You'll have to read it out to me.
3k? He has 3k gold in hand.
Yeah, it's going to be he's spent it now, right? Soul Reaver, that makes sense. Yeah.
We're also seeing Thanatos have about 2,500 gold in hand as well. We are going to see the Fire Giant picked up here for Protectors Yggdrasil. Puko is going to be around to zone. We're looking at around half HP now. Izus is going to get in there. This may be a fight that we want to see Protectors actually pick up. They do pick up the Fire Giant, speaking of picking up, and Ultimate is going to be popped here. Griffin Eyes are picking up a kill onto Ghoul Atomics, and Izus is also going to fall here. Snipes coming through. Griffinizer is doing massive amounts of damage on this Baba Yaga now, who is starting to get a little bit out of hand with this team as a whole. The overall backline of Protectors is very ahead now. They have a lot of items, a lot of gold, and we are going to see them stance towards the solo side tier 2 tower. There's not a thing that they can do here, and Ghost Rider is going to force the ult out of Pax King there. The damage that just came through there from that Ravana is absolutely astonishing.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think that they should really even be stepping up to a 20-minute fire giant. I think they should be, grabbing farm elsewhere on a man. Like maybe someone can go for a steal, but I don't think it's the place. And I noticed they did it with the Gold Furies as well. They just show up to these Gold Furies to try and defend them. They don't
when
get
they
the
have
objective.
no chance of doing it.
Yeah, and then they all just die, and then the other team's farming more, and they're not farming because they're in the grayscale. Like you have to know when to give up an objective and just sort of grab what you can elsewhere. And it doesn't seem like Hakai really recognise that.
They're playing very reaction, like they're basing it off of like they're just following basically where protectors are forcing them to go, and that is exactly what they want to do. We are going to see a slight pause in this game, so it does give a little bit of time to talk about what's happening. We'll take a little bit of quick analysis with the boys here, and we're going to see a 10,000 gold lead in the hand of protectors who just picked up a fire giant, are going to sweep all of the towers. It's very great play for them, but I think you explained it the best, Ben, rather than anyone. That is that. You saw it on the Oni Fury. You see protectors still pick up the Oni Fury, but then pick up 3 kills at the same time. The same just happened on the Fire Giant. You see protectors pick up the Fire Giant, but then 2 members of Hakai fall at the same time as well. It just seems like they're throwing in what they don't need to be doing when there's a lot of farms still available on the map.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's time that they could be spent, farming elsewhere, because like even though they're 10k down, it's kind of really bad now at the moment. But even though protectors are 10k up currently, we're 21 minutes into the game. Your jungle 17, your mids 18, your solo 17. Even with like frags, and the only one that's really farming decently is Alyssa on the Rama, right? So if they were spending less time dying for a Poxy Gold Fury and more time farming the other side of the map and minion waves, they may have, caught themselves up somewhat just through efficient farming alone. Because, even though they're so far ahead, they're really quite under farmed for the stage of the game that we're in. It's just odd to see, really.
Yeah, I mean, we're at 21 minutes into the game right now, and believably, like you say, it's going to be Alyssa who is really kind of the only person on this map who is almost about level 20. It's very good for her. We're going to see a massive lead there. It's going to be nearly a 5-level lead by the time that she hits level 20. We're going to see Reds Pro opting to go towards the Rage, which it's going to be definitely a thing.
What, in a free kill game? His team's got 3 kills.
Yeah,
and he goes, mate, you know what I'm going to do? I'm 0-3. I'm level 15. My team's got 3 kills in 21 minutes. Let me just start stacking my rage now, because that makes sense. I think that's... sorry, I might be being a little bit too brutal, but I think someone needs to get off of the flowchart builds, right, and start thinking for themselves, because, I don't know, I don't think it's the play, Chief. And on the other side of the fence, we've got Alyssa. I don't think anyone is actually even able to kill Alyssa. I think any damage they put out, I think she'll heal that. Yeah, I don't think. I just do not think they have the facilities to kill Alyssa at all.
Facilities for that big man.
No facilities, big man.
No facilities.
I don't know. I feel like the solo's got a bit out of hand. Then so's the ADC, and they've just run straight off of that. I'm really struggling to see a way back for Kai in this first game.
Yeah, I would completely agree, to be honest. I mean, a lot of this came out of Pucko just getting a massive lead in the solo lane. You see that he's just going to build a load of protections and then slap a stone of binding on it.
And I feel like Pucko, the difference between Pucko and Ezeus is that, like, obviously we know Ezeus has been trying to transition to mid, because he was solo and he's on his mid main arc now, but it just seems like he hasn't done his homework on like what the current, or how to build. Like everybody, Bluestone's cracked. Yeah, he's picked Bluestone. Well done. But like these items like Contagion, Stone of Binding, and Heartward and Glad Shield, they're so good.
Like but
this man's gone Breastplate Soul Eater, and I don't understand the logic behind it.
Straight after that.
Yeah, like what's the logic behind first item Breastplate here? Like how?
There is none. Especially considering that Warriors have got a base 10% CDR now.
Yeah,
I don't think he needs the breastplate. He should have rushed the Soul Eater, maybe gone into the Glad Shield, and then he might have actually been able to do something.
Shiva's like, he's not one that's... like his survivability comes from his sustain in lane, right? And you've not built that one core item. Like that item's absolutely core for a Shiva, right? So I just do not understand why you wouldn't pick up Soul Eater.
Yeah, 100%. We just see Protectors there picking up the Gold Fury. They're just going to keep on extending this lead even further. What they have, we're now looking at around the 12,000 gold mark. Looks like we are going to see them stancing towards the duo side of the map on this Phoenix. With these leads, it shouldn't be an issue, I would imagine. They definitely have the facilities to be able to pressure this Phoenix. I would like to see some pressure in the mid lane from Ghost Rider whilst this is happening.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Hakai can... They've no chance of defending this at all.
They're going to see the ultimate come out from Ghoul Atomics there, picking up a lot of damage, and Red's Plo is very, very low here now. He is going to fall in the end. Snipes are going to come through from Alyssa. The Phoenix is going to fall. Ghost Rider's taken a lot of damage, and is it going to come through? The execute does come through, and we are going to see Puko pick up a kill there onto Ghoul Atomics as well. 2 falling for Hakai. Looks like they are going to go towards the Titan. Puko's is going to pick up another kill here now on the Titan. Mitigations onto him from the Athena roll. There is going to be a little bit of damage now coming out from Brex, but is it a little bit too late? Griffin Eyes has just kind of stood there, hitting the Titan with these Baba Yaga abilities, and we are going to see Game 1 head towards Protectors of Yggdrasil in what I would call quite a one-sided affair.
Absolutely. And I do want to. I'm not doing this to target him or anything, of course, but I do want to throw out yet more shade to Reds. I don't know why. Again, like you've built Rage, and now he's looking for like Deathbringer. Like the man, he's just never killing Pucko. Like he's never killing him. He's got next to no pen in his build. He's so far behind, and he's gone for Rage Deathbringer. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. He's got an Ishtar Bluestone as well. Like is that?
Oh dear God! I only just noticed that.
So he's probably got like 0.9 attack speed.
Has. Look at the pen that the Rama has. It's just nobody.
It's just savagery.
The one thing I realised the most from sort of playing solo the most is I don't think Ezus realised the matchup that well. He's playing Shiva into a Cuckoo lane, who at the minute he's a lane bully, he always has been, and he's got Contagion. So as soon as he gets CC'd, Shiva's taking 200 damage, and throughout that whole lane, Shiva is just throwing abilities, CCing Cuckoo lane, getting that tick, and Cuckoo lane's just punishing him for it. You can't fight him early on.
And here's the other thing:
without the Soul Eater, you cannot fight him.
So he's got no Soul Eater, right? But then where does the logic for Horrific come in? Because like you're playing into Ravana, who can just 2 it, right? Kakullan can just, without that, you're never going to Horrific him. Like, what does it matter? Baba, are you going to Horrific her when she's in ult? Rama,
it was an ego play. He wanted
Athena,
to get first blood.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just troll. It's just
and it would have been a wasted first blood because he would have just TP'd straight back to lane. That was all it was. It was an ego.
Yeah. That game, though, I'll tell you what. One thing that was we'd have to speak about stuff that was good, right? And the stuff that I really liked, I felt like obviously we see Alyssa just absolutely dominated her lane. Kakullan dominated his lane, but I think there's quite an unsung hero in this game in Gordon. I think Gordon's presence on the map with the Athena ult, some absolutely clutch taunts, and like both for pill and for setup.
I would have liked to see the Stone of Binding a little bit earlier, maybe straight after the Thieves, to be honest, because that item is very, very strong right now. But the main thing is, after this Game 1, what do you think that Hakai need to do to be able to maybe get a little bit more inspiration in Game 2?
They need to be more active. You've picked a Thanatos. He's like the early game jungler at the moment. He's probably, there's some others that you could argue are up there, but he's definitely one of the strongest junglers in the game at the moment. He just needs to get. They need to get active. They need first of all they need to rotate to purple buffs when they're getting invaded for the 7th time in a row. Ezus needs to go on to Smite Guru or go on to Smite Fire and get himself a build from a bronze player somewhere. you know, yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say about Brett because he went deathless throughout the entire set. You could argue maybe he weren't getting stuck in. I would say he's realizing that his team's doing dumb stuff and he's saying, "No, screw you guys, I'm going to farm." But yeah, they builds for Shiva, rotate to these purples, get active.
Yeah, they need to be more proactive than reactive, is what you're trying to say.
It's clear to me from that game that they can. Not saying they should, but they can leave Brett on an island and he will be fine.
Yeah, right,
I
boys.
think
What we're going to do is we're going to head to a quick break before this game 2 initiates. We're going to let production restart their game because that is what they need to do between games, and we are going to be back very soon with game 2 of this set. area Smite League. We are back again with Hakai versus Protectors of Yggdrasil. Into game 2 now, after quite the stomp in game 1 from Protectors, I would say. We're going to head straight into picks and bans here. And it looks like nothing's going to change straight off the rip. We are going to see the Ratataska ban from Hakai.
Yeah, I still agree with that. Keep Ghost Rider off it. If Ghost Rider's a, 10 on a rat, he's 6 on everything else. So keep him off of it and make your life easier. Even if Rat's, I think Rat's pretty good. I don't think he's like anything crazy. But on the other side of things, I see that Paco is going to give Yggdrasil a lesson on how to play Shiva, and has said, turns out I'm a step ahead of everybody else.
You are an absolute step of everyone else, and what we're going to talk about is these bans that are currently still going through. I'm
on the wrong screen.
We are going to see. We are going to see Kakullan banned from Hakai, which is very, very smart on their part. Along with a Freya still banned here. On the other hand, we're going to see Kronos, Geb, and Fenrir banned from Protectors of Yggdrasil. We are going to see a Maui hovered for Hakai. They now have the first pick on this side of the draft. The Maui is going to be locked. Now, the main thing is going to be is it was quite a performance from Puko in the first game. And are we going to see the same in game 2? That is the question.
Absolutely.
You
I really
so?
like the I think so.
He's picked Shiva for one reason and one reason
It's
only, and that is to farm
cast out the
Zeus
wicked.
solo lane.
Yeah,
so
he wants to ego him, show him how it's done, I think.
Yeah, we're going to see Shiva and Artio locked in for Protectors now. Artio, not the god that you would usually see picked up for support. It's Defro and aggro type support, and I'm guessing the Protectors think they're going to be able to get leads here and be able to translate that into being aggressive.
Do you know what I think this Artio pick is? I think they've taken the Shiva so they can show Isus how to play it properly, or more importantly, how to build him properly. And then Gordon's gone, you know what? I know you, Isus. If you can't play Shiva or Tyr, you're going to play Artio, right? Let's take that off you. I reckon that's what that is. I reckon Isus was probably looking to play the Artio.
I will vanquish all evil said no. From this world.
So my guess is, I reckon that Isus will probably pull out even though it gets an Artio, he'll probably look at pulling out something like a Tyr or something, probably, knowing him.
Right, we are going to see a couple of gods locked in for Hakai now on their side of the draft. It is going to be Yurong locked in again for the middle lane for Brex. And we are going to see a 4 locked in as well for Ice King here, I'm guessing.
Ooh.
We are seeing
Yanis
hovered. I really like the 4 also. I mean, it's a very impactful god, is what it is.
I quite like the Yanis as well, to be fair. And the thing is as well is it makes more sense now that they're picking the Artio, because if you're looking at playing a Yanis and the enemy team decides to pick up an Artio or something. I mean, granted they got the Maui, but those cripple fields, in case you don't know, they stop you from being able to take your portal, right? Maui can do the same thing with his 1, but it's a lot harder to hit that on a speedy Yanis. But I actually really like the Yanis pick. Last game they relied quite heavily on global rotations with the Athena. They haven't picked the Athena up this game, but they've sort of come second. They've said, all right, we can't send the Athena over, but instead we'll send the whole team over instead with the Yanis. So I actually really like Yanis, to be fair.
Yeah, the god's very... in terms of if you get a lead, it can be very, very painful for the other team. And like you said, the global factor of the god can be very impactful as well, which is something that they did play heavily off of in the last game. Now we are going to see the second round of bans, and it's going to be a Sol and Sunanos ban from Protectors of Yggdrasil. And we're going to see Jablonke and Thanatos banned on the side of Hakai, which we're going to head straight into the second round of picks, and then Najar is going to be locked in for Protectors of Yggdrasil.
Time to
Najar is Najar, right? Najar will ult you and one-shot you. I mean, especially if you thought Najar combo was obnoxious with the damage last season, you want to see it now with upgraded Bluestone with a brooch. It's
I like this Hercules pick.
But not only that, if you get a ring toss off and it bounces throughout the team and that, you're going to spread so much damage.
Absolutely.
So much damage.
we are going to round off
I'll
the
make
drafts now for the
everyone
teams.
feel my
It's going to be
pain.
Hercules and Charybdis picked up for Hakai, and we're going to see a Medusa locked in last 4 protectors of Yggdrasil.
I want to see this
really like
Medusa with
Hercules
Bluestone.
pick.
You like what? Hercules, did you say?
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah,
he
Hercules
he
is...
fights really well into Shiva with his new buff, like the attack speed buff, the healing that he gets back, protections he gets off buff. If he gets Contagion first item into a Glad Shield, he should have no problems fighting into the Shiva.
It's Yggdrasil though, isn't it? So we'll probably see like a Wind Demon first item.
And he better go Bluestone.
That's what it'll be. He'll get a
Winged
Med Cloak
Blade.
relic, and he'll get a Winged Blade first item. Watch. That's an
Biggest
easy. So
Golden
you go.
Blade
This is
is
the tech.
golden.
No, I
see a
don't
lot of
actually
people-
mind Golden Blade though.
No,
Like,
you
I mean,
don't-
surely,
You don't need it.
maybe
get-
not. But could you hear me out? Do you not go Golden Blade and max to 3?
No. You go Bluestone,
Yeah, I
and you
suppose
just
you go
instantly
Bluestone.
clear the wave, and then you pop your passive, and you just beat the granny out of the solo
Yeah, that's
lane.
true. What was I thinking? Of course, you go Bluestone
Beat the
first.
granny out of them.
You beat the granny out of it.
Yeah, I think one noticeable thing is going to be that Medusa picked up 4 protectors of Yggdrasil, and it's definitely it's kind of a different type of god to what was played last game for Alyssa. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, no doubt she goes Bluestone, surely.
Yes, definitely. I know. I know I'm jumping in here, but I'm saying this with great excitement because it's something I've tested. I know, like, a lot of people will still say, "Yeah, no, get Death Toll," but right. So hear me out. Bluestone proccing off of Medusa's 2, right? A spit, whatever it's called.
It does so much damage with a
That
dot
does
of poison as well.
so much damage, yes, when it's upgraded. But you know, not only that, if you're heading 80, I don't know if people are still doing it now, but like towards the end of last season, I mean, I was selling, usually if I was ahead, I would be like selling Death's Toll for another item, right? Like another pen item or something, like another luxury item. So I don't know if people are still doing that or not, but I assume, you know, you can just do that. So not having the Death's Toll is really not the end of the world. You're gonna have some sustain from elsewhere. But here's the thing. It looks like Ezeus is trolling us. Oh, it's not Ezeus. It's Pucko. Pucko's the troll this time. They have picked up a banned skin, so we're going to go to a break whilst they remake the lobby.
We are going to head back into game 2 now, after a slight delay because somebody thought that there was a banned skin that wasn't a banned. But we do move on anyway. The main thing is here is we're going to be able to have a look and see what people are building and part of the game right now. I would say honestly. We are going to be stuck in a pause for a little while.
Are we being bamboozled?
Because we are being bamboozled, just slightly.
Well, can we see what they're building or not?
We do move.
And if we move to the damage numbers, we'll clearly see that no one has dealt any damage.
Trolls.
There's not a gold lead anywhere at the minute, and yeah, it's a pretty stale game.
And I'm actually really, to genuine bit of analysis here, I'm actually really pleased that at 1 minute and 41 into the game that Hakai has managed to remain even in gold. Like Yggdrasil hasn't been first blooded yet. They're not a few K down. Like it's just really positive improvements here. I don't know.
Please. Right.
It sounded like a public service announcement.
You just pulled an Elderice used to do that. You'd be in the middle of a cast. Like you'd be right in the middle of a cast and then that's true, yeah, that's true, I'll give you that. But you'd be like right deep in the middle of a team fight and like I remember back in the Rosie was casting and Yggdrasil just right in the middle of it just went, "Hello guys, Elderice here. Just wanted to say they're trolls for not spam laughing." Like, okay. Cheers, mate. See ya. So what's the crack? Is this some smart tech? Is it like what's the crack here? Is this the smart client being weird or?
So what this is? This is a current photo shoot.
Being trolled because of a pause. Is what's happening.
I'll tell you what, Cheeto. Sliver's asking, he's complaining that there's no shed talk, right? We did kind of promise people some shed talk, so.
Okay, what would you like to talk about sheds? What Q&A time?
I'll give you some like parameters, like maybe what I would use my shed for. Maybe you can like talk me through some I don't know, just give me some consultation. So maybe if we get some questions in the chat about sheds, Cheeto can answer them. But
I've got a question.
I want a bit of a man cave. It's cold, like we live in the UK. It's a bit rainy, a bit damp. I want a bit of a man cave. I want my PC in there. I want to sit out there and what are you doing for me? What's the tech?
Well, I mean, in terms of the actual overall shed, you could just use any overall shed, really. I mean, you can go for the standard good old rock wall inside of the walls, which is not very nice to work with. We use something at work that's it's basically like a foil with bubble wrap inside of it, which it has the same thermal conductivity as what rock wool does, but it's just a bit easier to work with. Or if you're rich, you can just go for Kingspan. Kingspan's basically like.
Is that the spray foam?
No. Kingspan's it's like blocks that you can cut out and you just place in the wall. You don't use the foam stuff isn't very good at all, honestly.
Quite interesting.
It makes the walls sweat, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, in terms of overall sweating, you're going to get sweating anyway because timber's a natural product and it likes to breathe. So, like, you can't suffocate the timber as a whole. You need to leave some sort of ventilation inside of the shed anyway.
Got a question coming in from Shadewalk. What is your favourite wood material to build a shed from?
Canadian redwood cedar.
What are the pros and cons to some of the wood types?
So I mean, we use 3 different types of wood.
Dare tell me you use MDF?
No, we don't use MDF. We use 3 different types of wood. We use Canadian redwood cedar, which is kind of like the top line of timber. It's like phenomenal. So it's like buying a Ferrari, basically.
Isn't that like that giant 200-foot tree that grows out in the in the Redwoods. Well, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
Canadian
description's in the
Redwoods
name, I
either.
suppose. Yeah. I was about to say out in the Canadian Redwoods. But
Yeah.
yeah, of course it is, mate.
So
Fucking
the
hell.
other types of wood that would use is it's two of the same type, so it's always going to be Scandinavian pine.
Oh, where does that come from?
I wonder where it comes from. Probably a place called Scandinavia.
That's not
Okay.
real. That's not a real place.
So,
But like, so we use like when we do an internal cladding package, you just use it as standard, where it'd be white. If you're using it on the external of a building, you'd have it tannalized.
Right.
We just had a question come in from Mirandus. It says, "Is it true Cheeto has never won a set against Mirandus and Big Joe?" That, in fact, is correct. However, have you ever won a GSL championship? I don't think you have.
Have you ever finished a season on a team without rage quitting?
Ooh.
That is the return question. And oh yeah, thanks for leaving me out there, Ginger. Yeah, I'm not gonna repeat that one because that's some low key Morton slander. I'm not having it.
All right, we've got approximately a minute before the game repauses.
Okay,
Get your
one last
in.
question. One last question. Angry
Okay.
Goose is asking, rate Shrek's shed, and I'm going to add an extension to that question. What would you do to improve his shed?
God. I'm not even going to reply to it. It's just
Ah,
a
you gotta-
stupid question from a stupid person. Honestly, it's just
Whoa.
like being like is what that is. I'm
So
not
you
even
put
gonna
lagging in
answer.
it. There's your answer. He said he'd put lagging in it, lag. There we
One more
go.
final question from the GOAT, just like Azza. Is it true Cheeto is making a sequel to Monster House called Monster Shed?
Oh my god! What's the biggest shed I have built? Is that Sliver?
Ooh, we're back.
Okay,
Game
we are
time.
back in the game. The biggest shed I built was 38 by 16.
Inches, by the way.
No, that's feet.
The sharpest tool in the shed, lag, is Cheeto's brain, believe it or not, actually. It's actually pretty sharp for a northerner.
For a northerner, I'm not
You wouldn't
too
think
bad.
so. Not too
Yeah, I'm
bad.
not too shabby. Not too shabby.
There
But
you go.
anyway, let's focus on the game instead of sheds now. I like to clock out when I finish work. And let's talk about some of these builds, boys. And as we expected, Medusa, Bluestone.
Makes sense.
Looks like
yeah.
probably going trans as well.
Ooh.
Now,
Nah, don't rate it.
Soul Eater?
no, probably
I'd
an
still go
Assy.
Assy,
You just
yeah.
go straight into Assy, yeah.
What's
Yeah.
he's just going for the breastplate, is he again?
Yeah, the Contagion. He's going Contagion.
Surely he goes
Hope so.
Contagion this
He's
time.
going Contagion.
I'd hope so. I bet
He should
bet
be
it's
able to walk
breastplate.
out to lane and he should be able to get the pressure on this pucko straight away.
yeah, he shouldn't get breastplate. He should get Contagion, I think. I do agree. How much do
No,
you want
one
to
thing
bet
I
that he
have
goes
just
for a
noticed-
breastplate, though?
I have just noticed that both of the duo teams opted to not take the XP camp. And I have only just noticed that. So
they've
they're
done
both
green
heading into
purple?
lane. Yeah, they've just done green purple without the XP, so they don't go into lane level 2.
Yeah, but you don't usually do all three, though, do you? Like, I mean,
Yeah, you
some
can.
people do. No,
Yeah.
yeah, but like if you do the 3 camps and then you head to lane, in my experience, you lose 1 or 2 minions from the wave because of clear time, and then you lose lane pressure to the team that's done just the 2 camps. That's been my experience with it.
Yeah, I think it depends on who you're playing against and what team you're playing against, really.
Solo's going off.
Cringe gank.
We're going to see
Go.
Pax King rotate over towards the duo side of
Good
the
damage.
map.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Ghost Rider's going to take a lot of damage here, and Pax King does actually pick up that early kill. We are also going to see Ghost Rider pop those early beads as well, so they have been expended. Ghost Atomic's taking a lot of damage here by one this Maui, and we could see Gordon start to get aggressive here.
No,
We're
red.
going to see a little bit aggressive here as well, because Alyssa's going to go straight back to the fountain. Red's Pro hitting those basic attacks and
Oh, that's
gonna pick
excellent.
up that
And
kill,
that
and here
is
comes
what
another
makes
one
it
as
me.
well.
You know, pre-game, like we were talking, what did Pax King and the guys need to do in that last game? They needed to be more proactive, right? They need to just be active around the map, and yeah, they've done that, and really well done. To
That's
be
an
honest with you.
excellent start for Hakai.
They just need to keep it up now, because last game they did it right. If you remember, they caught him lacking on the neutral camps. He farmed him for it, and then they just sort of stopped. So I want to see like repeated pressure on the duo lane over and over and over again.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean you've got a 4 now that's level 4 in 2 minutes. It's 2-0-1.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you've got a win condition here straight away.
Focus on the wave, Zeus.
Beat him down.
Wave.
He's just going to beat him down instead. He said, I don't need to hit that wave. He said, I need to hit the enemy god.
Yeah, you know, didn't you?
Look at all those
Solo
minions.
mindset.
He's eating a lot, yeah.
He's eating a lot of minion damage. Looks like Puka is going to be able to pick up the totem free of charge as well because of that.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean it's already a better start for Zeus here. He's not getting his blue buff invaded, which is nice. But he's taking a lot of damage. He's got no mana. He's probably gonna have to back soon, right?
Yeah, walk up to wave, throw your ult here, back at base.
Yeah, and he got
Surely.
himself a TP.
Although saying that, Shiva knows.
I
This
want
is Zeus' chance to quickly clear that wave.
I want us to pay special attention because the 4 is probably going to tick over to 5 shortly, and I want to see what
There
he
he
does.
is.
I want him to, the moment he hits 5, I want him running to duo, personally. I want him to go straight to duo, boom, ult. Oh, here we go. I don't know where he's going for middle. This is fine as well. I just want him to go somewhere. Yeah, okay.
He has no mana, and that is a thing. But anyway.
I think it was, like, it's good. Like, he's got his ultimate. You want to use it. I think I would have liked to
the
see
main
him go
thing
to
is
duo,
it gives him pressure in the middle lane.
Yeah.
And it's going to allow them to be able to get these neutrals uncontested, pretty much.
Yeah, and now they should sort of recognise, Najar's about to turn 5. They're going to look for an engagement of their own, and so potentially Yggdrasil going to have an ultimate advantage for like the next, 60 seconds. Actually, 60 seconds about now. So as long as they sort of say to themselves, right, we'll just hang fire, we won't fight for a little while, they'll be all right. But if I was Yggdrasil now, I'd probably be looking at doing something with this Najar ult in return.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe go over to the duo lane.
I'm just looking forward to seeing how Yggdrasil actually utilise this Giannis in this game.
I would expect it would just, I want to see big groupings, throwing the ult out for big team rotations and stuff like that. I mean, I expect that Gordon will probably tell him to do that. Like Gordon, we see it with the Athena. He kind of likes those global ults.
Great timing on the dash there from Brex.
Brett's a hard man to kill in mid, to be fair. Brett is a very safe player. If you need someone to just sort of sit there and farm to 20 and it doesn't really take unnecessary risks. I'm probably caster cursing him now. That's really good damage.
Great damage.
Fantastic damage.
That was lovely.
There he is, the man of the moment.
It's just really well played from them. All 3 of them there. The CC, the grouping of the CC between 4 and Pax King, and we are going to see an early Gold Fury actually picked up. We're going to see a 5.5 minute Gold Fury here. They're going to bounce it between themselves, and it's going to get picked up.
That is what we want to see. Well played.
Yeah, Hakai have come out swinging.
Great macro there.
Yeah, they've come out swinging this game, and man, I've really got to go back to that absolutely incredible. Like that was an insane play there from the team. I mean, Brex, honestly, finding that stun into the ultimate, absolutely nuts. That was such a nice play, really well spotted.
One thing that would be noticeable here would be they need to they get in this lead, try and pressure it a little bit more. We know that Pikes is full HP. We see Reds being full HP, and then obviously Mao is very safe as well. They knew that the purples were on the same timer. Maybe let's try and invade their purple whilst we know that someone's not around.
Yeah, and if I'm the team here, I'm talking to Pax, and I think you've got one of 2 choices, and both are fine. I think Brex is probably the strongest, is their win con for Hakai, right? So I think you either hard camp Giannis and just keep 4 ulting him over and over and over and over again, or you just camp duo.
4 ult, it is going to be open, it is going to come out, and it is going to be on the duo side of the map, and it's going to be a straight kill there. Beads are going to be used as well from Alyssa, I'm pretty sure. Yes, they are. no ult expended. Maybe could have used the ult instead of the beads. Little bit of a lower cooldown, but the hindsight of it is another fantastic 4 ult, another fantastic 4 gank and a kill off of it. And speaking of kills, we are going to see Ghoul Atomics picked up by Griffinizer in the middle lane. Yanis ult's going to be used. Nejar ult's also going to be used in the main mile as well. Looks like Brex also altered whilst that happened, so did the Maui. But a kill picked up there for protectors in the middle lane.
Yeah, not the end of the world because it's their support at the end of the day, but just a small sort of complaint on my end would be if you know your 4 is going to duo to gank, you just don't play up in, don't look for fights elsewhere on the map because you know that if Najar isn't in duo, you're going to be a man down.
There's the contagion. Look at that damage.
Oh my lord!
Oh, you just got wrecked, mate! You just got wrecked, mate! What? He's there, mate, standing in front of the wave, mate. Yeah, come on, bro. What are you saying, mate? Come on, mate. You want some of me, do you? Have a look at that, mate. Try and gank my lane, mate. Yes, Jesus, mate. Oh, I love to see it, mate. Surely someone clips that, right? Jesus, you goat.
He just hit him for 3/4 of his health with a boulder.
He just said, who stashed me? Who stashed me? Have some of that, mate. Whack! Have that.
This is what I was saying about the contagion.
Oh, mate. That sash, I think that sash actually healed him. Like, honestly, I mean, I don't think that sash did anything. You know, like, you're in the middle of the night, you sat around a fire, and then you just feel that little pinch of a gnat on your arm. Slap it.
Ultimate is going to be popped by 4 in the middle lane. We are going to see focus onto Viatio, and a kill is going to be picked up here onto Gordon by Ghoul Atomics. It's a support kill on the support, which is, I think it's perfectly fine, honestly. Yanasul is also going to be expended for this, and the main thing is here we're going to see the absolute sheer amount of pressure from Izus onto Puko now.
Yeah, this is so what we saw from Yggdrasil in game 1, we're currently seeing like Hakai doing exactly the same thing. In fact, I'd argue it's kind of
does come out from Izus there in attempt to try and actually pick up that blue buff. We are going to see a Nejarul come out on the left side, and beads are going to be popped there from Reds Pro. Not a great deal else going to happen. Gordon is lingering around, but so is Pax King on this 4. Looks like he's just going to confirm the purple buff. We're not seeing a big lead in duo lane as of yet, but in terms of the jungle and the gold that's been gained by Pax on this 4, I think that's where the biggest lead is going to be.
Yeah, and as long as Pax keeps up his pressure, like I'm talking every 60 seconds I mean it'll be less now. Every 60 seconds that ultimate is up on 4, you need to be in the mid lane or the duo lane and just ult in someone on cooldown. I don't care if you're doing it for beads or whatever, just ult them every time it's up, and it just needs to keep this pressure up around the map. And I don't think it matters whether it's duo to shut down Alyssa or whether it's mid to get Brett fed. It's one or the other will win the game for him, I think. Yeah, or at least put them in a position where they should win the game, you know.
Yeah, I think the big thing here is that I want to see Alyssa try and get a little bit more active, trying to get wards on her side of the map and knowing that those beads are down from the Charybdis. If she's able to dash onto the Charybdis, she's going to pop a free. Maybe she's able to get some damage after that, but we are going to see Hakai opt to go over towards the Oni Fury now. 11 minutes in, Ultimate is going to be popped by Reds Pro, and they are going to chase down some kills here. Ultimate's going to be popped from Nejar in return, and a kill is picked up from Alyssa. It's going to be onto Reds Pro there, picking up the kill on the other ADC. We are going to see someone else fall though, and that's going to be Brex picking up Gordon. There's a couple of low HP bars here, and Brex is going to pick up another kill here as well. That one's going to be onto Alyssa, so the ADC falling for protective Yggdrasil. We are seeing a chase down now though, and Puko is going to pick up that shutdown on to Pax King, but now there's a bigger shutdown, and that's going to be on Brex, who is now 4-0 after this little tussle on the Gold Fury side of the map. Looks like people are just going to go back towards farming. But the main thing is who's that worth for? Because I think Protectors get a little bit off of it.
But for Protectors, I think.
Yeah.
But I have a question. Out of that whole thing, what I really want to know is I want to know why Charybdis has decided to pop her ultimate, run straight at the entire enemy team alone, then pop the dash to chase even further, and then immediately die when you're like so far ahead. Like what? I mean, it doesn't even matter if you're ahead or if you're behind. I don't understand why. Like why? Why have you done that? It doesn't make sense.
Which is why I would like to see Alyssa trying to get a little bit more active here, honestly. I mean, she gets this ult pretty quick, let's be real. We are going to see an ultimate come through here now from Ghost Rider, and Nejar is going to take him up, and the kill does end up coming through for Puko, picking up the little bit of shutdown onto Izus, and that is very, very good for protectors of Yggdrasil now. In the meanwhile, we are going to see the rest of the Hakai team pick up the Oni Fury on the other side of the map. Hakai do manage to pick up that, but Pikes King is going to get absolutely slaughtered by a Yggdrasil, and Redspro is forced into his ult now. Gordon is going to look to chase, and so is Griffinizer. It looks like he's going to get out a little bit free though, and
it's really unfortunate for Pax King. He did a really good job in the early game of getting himself a lead and influencing the maps, but he's died like twice on cooldown now, and his lead is gone, like totally gone by the looks of it. He just needs to watch his P's and Q's really, and Maui kind of needs to hit an ultimate at the same time.
Gordon is going to look to get a little bit aggressive here. Ultimate is going to be popped from Ghoul's Atomics, but it is just going to be a dash out from the Medusa, managing to get out of there, and Gordon is getting very, very, very active here. Free's going to be popped from Redspro, and here comes the Medusa roll, picking up a lot of damage now onto Redspro. Body blocks are coming through, but here comes the 4-ult. 4-ult is going to be popped. Beads are expended by Alyssa, and Ghoul Atomics picks up the kill twice, making it a double for him on the duo side of the map. Pax King making this 4-ult very valuable once again for Hakai.
Yeah, he's found a lot of value out of it. Yeah, he's found a lot of value out of the 4 so far. He's done really well on it, and I think if this goes to game 3, they'll probably look to ban it. They probably should as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I think the God's very, very valuable, and we are going to see a duo tower picked up off of that from Hakai. Ghost Rider is going to take a little bit of poke off of this, and Ultimate is going to be popped by Ghost Rider here onto Redspro, who is just brown bread. Redspro getting a little bit too active maybe. Ghoul's Atomics is going to be chased. Nice peel from Pikes King to be able to get Ghoul's Atomics out of there, but it looks like Protectors aren't done yet, because they are going to chase down Ghoul's Atomics, and the portal does come through, an aggressive portal, and once again another wall from Pikes King manages to save the lives of a couple of his teammates, and ultimates are going to be popped all over the place. Maui ult's going to be popped too. He's going to pull back Gordon, but he's just going to get a little bit more aggressive. Alyssa tending to opting to come towards the middle lane now with a little bit of a rotation, but I would like to see her just farm up a little bit. I think Redspro's playing a little bit too aggressive for what he needs to be doing at the minute, especially the leads that they have, but more noticeably is the damage that Brett is putting out at this minute, and it's a lot.
Yeah. Brett's actually he's having a really, really good game, and I think if I was Pax King in this situation, I think I'd just be totally done with duo at this point, because he keeps coming over to duo, he keeps getting successful ganks off, and he's done a really good job, and then not a minute and a half later, Reds is just running into someone and dying for no real reason. And I think if I was Pax King at this point, I would sort of be going, well, okay, I'll just play around Brex instead, who's not like feeding our lead away. So I'd be looking, I'd like to see Pax, take these 4 ultimates and just hard camp this Janus at this point, because it's kind of a wasted effort at the moment going over to duo if Red's going to keep dashing into people and dying,
I mean, we are seeing a lot. We are seeing quite a few glimmers of hope, I would call them, from Protectors still, even though they are slightly behind still. We are seeing glimmers of hope in what I would say what is it's a deficit in mid in terms of levels, but when they've been using these Janus ults effectively, it's been working well for them. And we were speaking about effective, and Hakai are going to pick up a Pyromancer here as well, extending their lead a little bit more to 5,000 gold.
Yeah, you're right. The Janus ults have been coming in clutch every now and then. I don't think they've been coming in as clutch, as the sort of raw damage that the Yu Huang's putting out. But the other thing is,
the other thing is silence, but we are going to move on from that, and that is the aggressive stancing from Protectors of Yggdrasil here, and we are going to see Brex pick up a kill here on the solo side of the map onto Ghost Rider. It's an absolute all-out brawl in the solo lane. Who even knows what's happening right now, but Brex is now 5-0. Sorry, make that 6-0 because he actually picks up the double kill here, picking up Ghost Rider and Gordon now. It's a fantastical from Gulls Atomics now, but managing to pull him back with the Maui ult, and another kill is gained. Puko falling there to Izus, and now we're seeing Hakai just firmly in the front running, and they are going to opt to take this tier 1 tower in the in the solo side of the map, looking to strip down whatever that Protectors actually have available on the map now. We are going to see Griffinizer play a little bit safe on that side of the fight. Wasn't able to rotate up there as quickly as you would have liked. But it's very aggressive stancing from Protectors still, because they don't want to give anything up. Pax King is going to take a lot of damage now. Ultimate does come through from the Janus. He only just manages to get away there, and we are seeing Puko take a lot of damage from Izus. It's very, very split, this fight. There's not a great deal happening around. We are seeing a little bit of activity around the Pyromancer, and Ghoul Atomics is falling very, very low now. Gordon actually managing to pick up a kill onto him, and we're going to see Reds Pro get very low now as well, and the ultimate comes through from the Yu Wang, but doesn't do a great deal. Griffin Eyes picking up a kill onto Reds Pro. Puko's falling very low now. He has to pop the ult to be able to heal. 4 is up though, and he is going to dunk back down again. Pax can pick up a kill onto Puko. Brex picking up a kill onto Alyssa. It's an all-out brawl in the middle lane now. It's just back and forth everywhere this game. It looks like the duo side of the map from Hakai is falling short, kinda. Some nice Maui ults coming through, and looks like Gordon's still going to play aggressive on this Artio. Managing to just weasel his way out of Pax Kim's grabs there, but we're now seeing Brex on this Yu Wang that is 7-0, doing a lot of damage. We are still seeing the gold lead on the Hakai side, 6,500 gold now. And a 6,000 experience difference as well. We're seeing only slight leads in certain places. We're seeing a level in solo, level in jungle, level in mid lane, level in support. It's kind of a level around the map, and we are going to see some aggressive stancing around the Gold Fury for Hakai. Ultimate is going to be popped by Janus. Hakai are going to drop the Gold Fury though, and instead we're going to see a fight now once again. Izus is just playing like an absolute demon in this game. Griffinizer starts to back it up, but Gordon doesn't realise what's happening around him, and it takes a lot of damage that is very unneeded for him. There's just all-out brawls happening all over the place. Gold Fury drops to around half HP. Protectors don't want to drop this though. This Gold Fury isn't dropping very quick. Brex picks up another kill now onto Ghost Rider, now 8-0. And Hakai pick up the Gold Fury as well for that, being a primal, which will give them an advantage over on this fireside. And it's just fantastic again from Hakai what is happening. It's very, very scuffed fights, but they're managing to get leads off of what is happening. We are seeing the main difference here is going to be in the jungle now, and that's going to be 3 whole levels. We actually find that Alyssa is ahead in the duo lane. Plenty of wards on the fire side of the map. Izus is just going to hang around and be an absolute nuisance. Boulder is going to come out. Not a great deal going to come from it. Reds Pro is going to pop his ultimate. Alyssa's falling to around 3/4 HP. Reds Pro, it does miss the ult, but not a great deal he can do about it. We're going to see Gordon stancing very aggressively as well. Alyssa's now falling to about half HP. Izus is just walking at people for free, and they are unable to do an absolute thing about it. But the main thing is here, Izu's ult is down. We are going to see Alyssa back it up a little bit and try to maybe heal. We do see the Trans Crusher in Assy now online. She's going to have that nice little bit of healing now that she has that Assy. Assy is now a very predominant item in this current meta. Hakai are going to pressure the mid-tier 1 tower, and Gordon does fall to Pax King. 4 goes up, and does he come down? Who does he come down on is the question. He's going to fall onto the Pyromancer and opt to take that on his own. We are going to still see a little bit of pressure in the middle lane from Hakai, and Hakai do manage to pick up the Pyromancer. Ghost Rider, although, does pick up a kill onto Izus. Just Izus standing a little bit too high there, and him sacrificing his life for that. It is unfortunate for him, but it's more unfortunate for his team because it gives protectors a little bit of breath of life, and that is just that little bit of breathing space that they're going to be able to set up around this fire giant. If you hear me talking a lot, it's probably going to be because I'm now here alone. The Morton boys have disappeared on me. It's very unfortunate, but I suppose I'm here. I've got my friend Ginger still here though, which is very nice. I've got some emotional support. I've got some emotional support is what I've got. Let us not worry about it. I'm pretty sure Ben is back now. Although he isn't speaking. He must hate me. We are going to see 4 go up in the ult now. Kai are going to get aggressive. It does land, but it lands off of the mark, and a lot of damage is going to come through. Alyssa is actually going to end up falling to Pax King now, and that is a very nice pickup for them. Aegis is going to be used as well from Alyssa. Now 1 and 6 on this Medusa. Overall, in terms of the actual ADCs, not standout performances from them both, but the middle lane of Hakai has been very pivotal to what has been happening in this game. The main thing is that Hakai now on this fire giant is dropping to on the region of half HP. It doesn't matter though, because Protectors of Yggdrasil are around and they want to fight. Brex is going to be around and picks up a kill onto Ghost Rider now. 9-0 in this middle lane. Ultimate is going to be used from Brex as well, but nothing coming of it. Izus is going to be an absolute demon, just absolutely running at people. Pax King picks up a kill onto Griffinizer. Griffinizer is going to fall, and we are going to see a low Gordon as well, who maybe falls. We do not know as of yet, but Puko's going to get chased out as well. Gordon's going to be very low still. Redspo ends up killing Puko. Solo now killed on that side. But there's a very long chase here from Izus. And do you know what? I mean, it's good zoning, I suppose. Zoned them to the opposite side of the map, I guess.
Yeah, am I back?
He hit the ult, Gordon died.
He is back.
Oh, you're back.
Well, oh, mate, I've been sat here talking the whole time. And I don't know what's been going on. I've been sitting here thinking to myself, wait, why's Cheeto talking so much? Why is he going on? And I'm thinking, I can't get a word out here. I can't comment on this bloody third item rage on a 1 and 6 Narsha. And I don't know what was going on, but my mic, it wasn't picking up any sound.
I think your internet went kaplunk because so did Ben's. But on the real note, Hakai now pick up a fire giant, which is fantastic for them.
Does this mean I can mute myself again?
So I can probably I can probably sort of talk. I have been here watching. I genuinely don't know what went on, but like I'm just seeing that. Yeah, this 4 is going crazy. Brett is still deathless across 2 sets, and he's absolutely going insane. Who's DC'd? Oh yeah, Brett's
DC'd. So
I've just
what we are going to do?
him.
Yeah, you are very much caster cursing. What we're going to do is we're going to go to a slight break. It gives me a chance to at least get a drink.
Yeah, I think we should go to a break.
Yeah, there's a couple. Looks like a couple of DCs actually, because Reds Pro's also DC'd, which is not fantastic on that side. So we're going to head to a little bit of a break, and we will be back once people are back in this game. We are now going to be heading back into this game between Hakai and Protectors of Yggdrasil after a slight break because of a couple of DCs, but we are back. We are seeing a very big lead here now for Hakai, 11,000 gold, and a Fire Giant also. The main part is that there's also a massive difference in terms of the experience. We're now 26 minutes into the game. It's kind of the pivotal point of the game now. We are seeing a mid laner who is incredibly fed in terms of Brex, and this 4 is putting in absolute work with every single ult day for us.
Yeah, he's done a really, really good job, and counter to that point, one thing that I know I briefly touched on it, but like some of the build choices we've seen over the past couple of games, I don't know why when you're a 1 and 6 Naja would you ever opt for a rage third item, I'm not really too keen on the Medusa build either. I feel like if you're going to Bluestone Medusa, it scales off of health, right, and not power, the passive. So I just feel like you go for an AA build still. Just go for a standard Assy into dominance, into whatever, and then just get your brooch upgraded at level 20. I don't really like this Trends Crusher whatever build, to be completely honest.
I think that people feel like I feel like people think they need to buy Trans with Assy, but it's very not a case at the moment.
No, it's definitely not, because you somewhat make up the power difference, and now the dominance and every item you're buying now in ADC has just got like attack speed. So you're getting a cheeky silver branch at the same time, especially with someone like Medusa. You're just getting absolute insane, stacks at the moment.
Yeah, we are going to see ult pop from Ghoul Atomics, and that's going to be a Maui popped on the duo side Phoenix, and nothing is going to come of it. Fire Giant is going to be starting to wear off in around the next minute. What we're going to see instead is we're going to see Hakai opting to go towards the tier 2 tower on the solo side of the map, try and clear out these towers and see if they can do something out of it. But I think the main thing is what you were saying is, I touched on it briefly, and that is that, but I think that we've not really seen a standout in terms of this game for either of the ADCs really.
Yeah, and do you know what I think is the biggest difference in this game as well? Is it's not obviously they've played a lot better Hakai, but they played last game. I'll probably pause here as we go into the siege.
We are going to go into the siege, and we are going to see ultimates popped. The Yuang ult does come through, and it's going to be great damage from him. In return, the Maui ult is going to be popped, and Griffinizer is going to take a hell of a lot of damage. Haggis is going to be used. Ultimate's going to be used from Alyssa as well, but Pax King picks up a kill onto Griffinizer. Brex picks up a kill onto Ghost Rider. Alyssa does manage to pick up a counter kill, but in the meanwhile, Ghost Rider also falls. Puko falling. It's going to be now 3 kills for 1. All the damage available for Hakai. We are going to see Gordon and Alyssa still standing very, very tall. Gordon's going to pick up a kill onto Red's Pro. Pax King falling very low. And as you said, it was game. I don't think it is just yet, because Alyssa picks up a kill onto Pax King, who returns in a little bit wild off of that double tap. A brilliant Aegis from Alyssa there, who actually manages to pick up that kill. Ezeus is getting very active though. Boulder is going to be popped from him. Brex is still hanging around now. 11-0, picking up a kill onto Gordon.
They're just feeding Brett.
Doing absolute bits in that for him. Brett's just doing a hell of a lot of damage now. Just overall, it's just a fantastic performance from him.
One might say he's eating them for breakfast.
Eating them for breakfast. But overall, they managed to stay alive.
Whilst they're all dead, we're going to probably see him run up, take EFG and end, right? But one thing that I've noticed, I think the biggest difference from this game, obviously they were a lot more proactive, we said they needed to be, but I think the biggest thing from it comes from their comp, right? So like last game they played this Yu Huang, and then their support was a Jing Chen, who realistically you're never going to be able to ult anyone, right? But what they were kind of lacking was the range CC to set up for their damage. So they had this Thanatos, it's no range CC, they have this Jing Chen, who doesn't really have any range CC either. Now, going into this game, you've got these Herc Plucks, you've got the Maui ones, you've got 4 walls. All of these are setting up for massive damage from the Yu Huang, from the 4, for double taps. I think this is why they're seeing a lot more success, to be honest with you. They got so much set up for their damage at range, they're just getting off damage before the team can get close.
Janus ult is going to be popped here into this fight, and it's not going to matter because we are going to see Ghost Rider fall to Izu's doing a hell of a lot of damage. His ult's going to be expended. So is Pax King. Pax King also pops the ult on the 4. We're going to see Hakai in the meanwhile just look to take this Fire Giant whilst Izu's kind of zones absolutely everybody. Fire Giant is now around a quarter HP. Looks like Protectors don't want to give it up though, because they are going to hang around, and Hakai do manage to pick up the Fire Giant. Ultimate's going to be popped from Red's Pro. We're going to see a lot of damage coming through now and a lot of death on the side of Protectors of Yggdrasil, because we do see Puko fall first off, and then Gordon straight after that. There is now no tanks on that side. Gordon is also, Ghost Rider's also dead for around another 15 seconds or so. And what we're going to see is now an EFG on Hakai running towards the Titan. A Phoenix is already down, and I don't think they're going to be able to stop this. We are going to see Ghost Rider take someone up in the ult. It's not going to matter though, because Izus is just going to sit there on the Titan and throw the boulder and do whatever he wants. At the same time as Brex and Red's Pro just throwing a lot of damage into that Titan. That's going to be game 2 towards Hakai. In a game which was, I mean, it was very scrappy, is what I would say.
Yeah, it was scrappy. I mean, I think that Hakai played it really well, though, to be fair. And I do think the fact that, you know, Pax, he was pivotal in this game, like being, you know, we said, I know I've repeated it, but we've said he needed to be more active, and he was this game, and he set up a lot. But overall, I just think their comp was so much better for what they wanted to do, and as a result, we saw the Yu Huang go absolutely crazy because they've got all this set up for his damage, and it worked, right? A 4-wall, you know, even if it's a frontliner, you know, you get a Maui pull off, you unload damage onto them, right, and then you can 4-wall them afterwards if you chain your CC correctly, and then that allows this, you know, you've got your Charybdis just free casting, and then you can pluck them. You've got so much, you know, CC chain potential in this team that, you know, their front lines will have a really, really hard job trying to do anything. Like you're going to lose most of your health bar before you can even get close, unless you've got a blink, which they don't. So I actually think as well as them, you know, being more proactive and taking it into their own hands, their comp just sort of served them a lot better that game.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Breck's pulling out a 15.5 KDA in this second game. I mean, even in the first game, didn't die all game. Like you say, didn't have the stuff to facilitate him in the first game, but this comp definitely did that for him. It was overall a fantastic performance from himself and from Pax King, who did a fantastic job on this 4, who I think actually just has to get banned away in the next game. There was a couple of different things that could have been changed, but what we are going to do is we're going to go on to a break, ready for game 3 of this set, so we will see you right after that break.
Yo, boys, give me 2 minutes. I want to go and... Wait a minute.
welcome back to Galeria Smite League. We are here with the third and final game of Hakai versus Protectors of Yggdrasil. This set overall has been very interesting, and a lot of stuff has been happening that is kind of unexplainable. Game 1, massively in favour of Protectors. Game 2, massively in favour of Hakai. We're going to see the final come out in this third game, and we're going to go into picks and bans for those games. For this third game, shall I say. Straight off the rip, we're seeing for a new Wang band.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes 100% of sense, because it takes Brett off of something that has just gone crazy on for the past 2 games. And it takes away the fact of a global ult that gives a lot of CC. And Pax King had a banger of a game last game with that 4.
Yeah, the 4. I mean, I feel like 4 should be being banned anyway. Like, he's just such a good god at the moment. He really abuses the Bluestone well, and I feel like, 4 Yu Huang hurt probably goes. There it is. But that leaves a lot of other stuff open, and I feel like what they can look at here is I think they can look at Cullen for the solo lane. I think they can look at your Thanatos for the jungle, and Brett's just going to play Scylla, right? I know Brett will just play Scylla. We'll play Baba Yaga. So in actual fact, I don't think the Yu Huang ban is all that great for him. I mean, maybe it gives him more kill potential if he's not so on something that's not safe. But yeah, the 4 and the Yu Huang, it's a given. But if I'm Hakai here, I'm looking at the Cullen, the Scylla, the Baba, the Thanatos. Is what they should probably be looking at now.
Yeah, we are going to see Protectors opt to ban out the Hercules as well, which was very impactful, especially for Izus, who had a very standout game in the last game on this Hercules. Now we are going to see a couple of picks start to come in. The Maui has been banned by Hakai. We are going to see a first pick of Yamoja, which I think is a beautiful first pick. I think Yamoja is still one of the best supports in the game, probably a top 4 support in terms of the game. And you was right in terms of what's getting picked, because we see a Scylla locked in, and it's going to be for Brex. And
why not? She's cracked.
Yeah.
She's still cracked.
Yeah, along with that, we are also going to see a Artio locked in for them. So I'm going to say probably solo lane pick.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that Hakai. I mean, this is an Izus Artio written all over. This is an Izus Artio. I don't really like. I just think he'd be better suited on Cullen or something like that. Just take a Bluestone. Just get a god.
Cullen.
Yeah,
we're going to see
the Bluestone gods.
Yeah, we're going to see Puko return to the Cullen after a fantastic game 1 on that god. It could be very upsetting what he's going to do in this game. We'll see if he has another standout game on this Cullen. And we're also going to see a Soul picked up, which right now is a very interesting pick. And I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm going to say Alyssa's going to be on this pick.
Yeah, that's a Soul Alyssa. She's looking to bully lane, and if I had to make a prediction, I reckon they're going to run it back. I reckon Ghost Rider's probably going to pick up the Raven. So I feel like their game 1 is really strong. He's probably going to be thinking to himself, "Oh, I had a good game on the Raven. They've got Scylla. Let me just run him back." So I anticipate that they'll pick up a Raven. He's also got good chase down potential for her. I think it'd be, the pick's fine. Fenris. Yeah,
Fenrir is still a god and kind of broken, let's be honest.
Yeah, he is good. I feel like he's I mean, I personally would have preferred just Thanatos. I think Thanatos is nuts. If you can't get the 4, take Thanatos. Fenrir is nice. Fenrir is good.
Speaking of Thanatos,
yeah, he's very strong, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Fenrir is a god right now, but he's kind of a god that we're seeing stomp through what we would call the rank queues. It's seeming to find a lot of ban in those queues, but we're going to speak of banning these games, and that is going to be the Thanatos that you've just spoke about. The making sure that Ghost Rider does not play that Thanatos. It was taken away in the first game, it was banned in the second game, but not going to let him have in the third game either. That is along with the Ratataska, which has been noted in the past 3 games as well. They're just not going to let him play it. We're also going to see Kronos ban from Protectors of Yggdrasil, and we're also going to see a Sunanos and Baba Yaga ban.
Yeah, Baba Yaga. Oh yeah, I think Griffin Eyes had a really good game on Baba, honestly. So yeah, I don't mind the ban. And she's really, her poke damage late game is just absolutely insane. She's fairly safe, and she's got absolutely insane poke game in the late game. So yeah, why not?
I think Vigod actually does relatively well into a Fenrir as well, in a sense. Although her dash is cancelled out,
for sure.
In terms of the ultimate, which is able to just kind of counteract everything else that it does, it's very good. We're going to start
they're not picking
about
Cucullin.
these next picks, and that's going to be a Kepri locked in
Watch your
for
head.
Hakai. So that's confirming that the RTO is going to solo lane, and it is going to be Izu who's playing the RTO. And we're going to look to the other side, Protective Yggdrasil picking up in the Wheelix, which I don't know about you, but I've seen a Wheelix being played a lot recently in my rank queues, and it's a very stompy god.
A Wheelix is insane.
Yes,
a
very much.
Wheelix is.
I'm pretty sure.
Insane.
I'm pretty sure an early level, like when you've maxed the feather step to level 4 in like the first 7 levels, it does like 500 damage instantly. Early game, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, a Wheelix is just absolutely nuts right now. But the other thing is that the Wheelix picks is actually very nice. She's just a hard counter pick into the Fenrir. She's a hard counter pick into the Scylla. The only thing that she might have trouble with is it depends. Well, I'm thinking more the RTO. Yeah, the Kepri does make her job harder for sure. You know, they've got ways to shut down her flip and her disengage, and you know, she's if RTO sees a Wheelix, he should probably just run at her, honestly, because she's not going to be able to do her job. She won't be able to feather step anyone. She won't be able to like leap away on Suku. But I'll tell you what, one thing I want to move to is I absolutely hate this Kukulkan pick. I don't know why, in what world I would pick up a Kukulkan into a Fenrir, personally. I don't really like this pick.
I'm glad that we're on the same world, because I also would never pick that god into a Fenrir.
I think the easiest way for Hakai now, if they want to win this game, they say, yo, Fenrir. They go, yo, Pax King, how long in your
literally sit on him.
Yeah, he goes 60 seconds. So he goes, all right, so you're Hakai. You just make sure you got 60 seconds on ult. We'll back now. We'll get ourselves healthy. We'll get our next times. 60 seconds time, I want everybody in mid lane. We're ulting Fen. We're ulting Cuckoo. Okay, we've got his beats. We'll come back. And then they do it over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And
I think the only
free.
saving grace to that could be Gordon on the Shimoja. And I think that's the only saving grace.
He could throw up insane walls. He could do that, but you're still going to be able to blow him up over the wall with a crush to one. But not only that, I mean, Kepri, you know, he can. I mean, I'm sure Phantom Shell works on Fenrir and all. I don't see why it wouldn't. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I assume it would. So they've got some counterplay of their own. Yeah. So I don't see any issue here, even if he does get stuck behind a wall.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in terms of like what we spoke about the duo lane, obviously Alyssa's going to be taking this soul. It's going to be into a Jablonke, so this is going to be an interesting matchup, especially when Alyssa's going mannequins into Sands of Time, Book of Thoth.
Yeah, I expect
very interesting.
I mean, I know Alyssa from a few seasons now, and I mean, even the book is kind of surprising to me, to be fair, because Alyssa, I've always known her as someone that just builds like all the lifesteal items. You know, like back in season 1, she'd build like Devos and Assy and Atalantas and go like triple lifesteal and play a mage ADC, go Bancrofts and Typhons and God knows what else there is. So I'm kind of surprised to see a building book. I was actually expecting her to build Bancroft, but I don't necessarily disagree with what she's doing. She's going to look to hard body this lane.
100%.
Yeah, she shouldn't have too much kill potential into Shubalanke though, unless he kind of just gives it up for free, you know.
I mean, we're not going to see much happening for around the first minute, but once these junglers start to rotate over towards the duo side is when we're really going to start seeing stuff happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And the interesting part is going to be the relics from the supports, and it's going to be Yamoja picking up that beads, which could opt for. We are going to see a Wheelix leap into this here, and a lot of damage is going to be coming on. And first blood goes to Alyssa straight off the rip on to Reds Pro. It's going to be massive for them.
I feel like we're a period of time into the new season now, and everybody knows this cringe duo gank. Oh, that's really unfortunate. He's going to get traded there.
That is a lot of damage there, and we're going to see a kill from Ghost Rider onto Pax King now for that. Although the damage did come through onto Griffinizer, it didn't really matter because he edged him slightly close to that tower, and it gave Ghost Rider the ability to just throw out all that damage, and we both know that is a lot of damage in terms of an early game of Wheelix.
Yeah, the Wheelix is just absolutely crazy, and oh, I think
we are seeing a lot of damage here from Alyssa, and the kill is going to be picked up by her. That is a fantastic stun from Gordon, and that's 2 kills in 2 minutes from Alyssa on this Soul, who is now 2 levels up already. Both of the Bastions down on the duo side already.
Yeah, this duo lane is kind of over. Already for Hakai, honestly.
And it looks like Cullen's just doing what he did in game 1 in terms of pressure as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, it's a really rough start for Hakai. Yeah, I think realistically, you should know this duo gank now, right? Like the moment. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it at this point. Apparently, Hakai don't. I just don't think there's a world in which we should be getting ganked at level 2/3 now in the duo lane. It's as old as anything nowadays. It's quite unfortunate to see that it worked.
Yeah, it was a thing very early in terms of Season 9 as well, but it kind of faded away because people were going towards the totem first, and that's a very nice riptide there from Gordon just to stall out the Kepri. And I would like to see Ghost Rider make his presence known in this early game. He's now level 5. He's got that ultimate available. He could definitely be putting on a lot of pressure now that he has that first back off in, I would imagine, a couple of seconds to be able to get his Jotuns.
Yeah, he could probably quite easily look towards the mid lane as well, to be fair.
The Eye of the Jungle is very interesting though, and is it something that you would say that's good?
No, I mean it's good, yeah, for sure, but it's not Bluestone good. I would still go Bluestone. I think he's kind of kneecapping himself slightly by not going Bluestone. I would definitely go for Bluestone here. I mean, not only, even if you consider the late game poke potential with your
Ufu Khan's actually going to pull off a lot of damage here, and he does sidestep the ult there from, and Brex actually picks up a kill there with the I'm a Monster, and here comes. Ooh, he's going to take a couple of tower hits there, is Ghost Rider, and just manages to get out. It's unfortunate for Griffinizer, who pops the ultimate, but Pax King just walks to the side of it.
Well, this is what we want to see from the Fenrir, right? We mentioned before the game, Fenrir needs to just sit on mid lane. Don't worry, I mean, I wouldn't even bother with duo. You need to fend for yourself, like just ward up and play from behind, and maybe defend a purple buff if you can. But Fenrir needs to just sit on this mid lane. If he's hard pressuring this mid lane, they won't have as much freedom to sort of walk around the map and try and pressure purples and stuff like that. Because 100%. In return, you can go for their red, you can look for blues or whatever, play on the other side of the map. I think, yeah, Fenrir needs to just stick around his mid lane. I don't know what his ult time is on now. It's probably going to be about 30-40 seconds, I imagine. I want to make sure, if I'm them, that the team's healthy and ready to fight in mid as soon as that ult's up.
A lot of what is going to be happening as well is going to be around that Fenrir ult, and I think that Protectors can also play around that because he's going to leap in and try and get that stun before they actually put that pressure on, and we are going to see Fenrir actually go towards the solo side and get a little bit of pressure back for Zeus. Now, we're going to see Alyssa probably get pressure in duo, and it wasn't a Book of Thoth that she went first, it was a Polynomicon.
Lifesteal items, right?
Lifesteal items!
I wasn't half, I mean, I was kind of right.
Do you know? Do you know something we don't?
Well, I guess so, mate. It's
Alyssa,
intuition, isn't it? I mean, I've watched Alyssa play since season 1. I know she loves a cheeky lifesteal item, so why the hell not? And also, I mean, lifesteal's pretty good right now because junglers are not really building brawlers. The brawlers, the gold got increased, and the passives kind of do. So people are not really building it, so you get a little bit more value. I know that now that everyone's going Contagion. I don't like that.
And the monster is going to be popped there from Brex, and it's going to not hit the target. Maybe a little bit of worry. I don't know. Maybe he thought it could kill him. I don't think he has the damage to do so yet, though.
I don't think a level 8 Scylla with 20 stacks has got the facilities for that right now.
No, he hasn't got the facilities, big man.
He does not. Is that 20 or is that 30? I genuinely can't see numbers.
It is 20, my friend.
Right, it was a good guess.
It was a good guess, and another thing that's notable is Scylla no beads. Now she has no beads, no ult,
free gank.
And it's if the communication's there between protectors, Ghost Rider should be there.
He should be, yeah. Brett's a very safe player though, and typically he won't stray up that. Like that's like probably the best thing about Brett as a player is he's very safe. Sometimes he can be a little bit too safe, I'd say, but he doesn't tend to take unnecessary risks. He will just chill out in the mid lane. He'll know he's got no beats.
That guy will sit on the tower if he needs to.
He'll be a tower boy, and he won't. He don't care. He don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing the Fenrir ult comes up soon. And it's about synced with Scylla's ult, and now I want to see them in mid lane. They'll probably have to use it to burn beads first, but I want to see Fenrir in mid lane as soon as that comes up. And he's here with ultimate. Yeah,
he's going to pull the Umoja, who doesn't have the beads available and no ult available also. Pluck is going to be on point from... I'm a Monster does come through, but it isn't on target, and it's a nice Rivers of Butte. To be able to get out of there from Gordon, who just walks along the wall and manages to get out. We are going to see pressure on the duo side of the map though from Ghost Rider, who is going to hit the knock-up and is going to do a lot of damage with that Feather Step. Ultimate's going to be popped. Scarab's blessing from Ghoul Atomics there, managing to get Brex out so that he's kind of just free, but I mean the main point of that is that the Gold Fury is now going to be picked up by Protective Yggdrasil. It is falling incredibly quick, and I mean incredibly quick. They used a Cuckoo ult to be able to confirm that. Do you know what? I don't hate it, and what we are going to see is a very nice gold lead in 3,500 gold, 3,600 gold. It's going up by the second, 3,800 gold for Protective Yggdrasil now in this early game. 4 kills to 1. It's a lot. It's a big lead in duo right now.
It's getting there, yeah. Yeah. And one thing I noticed, the previous fight that just went right. So if we saw there, the Fenrir kind of showed after that Gold Fury fight, right, and Awilix hit a lovely knock up on him, but because he wasted his ultimate on the Shubalunke in his dash, he didn't have it to pull the Fenrir in, which is quite unfortunate. He probably could have picked up another kill. But one thing I noticed as well, we saw obviously Awilix kind of chased into the jungle, picked up the kill. The Kepri come round. And he didn't use his 2 for mitigations on his teammate, and I can't say whether or not that would have helped the X-Bow live. It might have done, it might not, I don't know. But he used it for damage. Now, if that carries on, if he does that in the late game, his team's getting dived and he's throwing his 2 out for damage instead of using it for mitigations, it's going to cost his team some fights. Like his backline will die because of it. So hopefully, we want to see him using that 2 properly because it's so strong.
Mitigations is very, very strong. I'm pretty sure
it's so strong.
It gets up towards, I think it's 25 in the max level.
It's 30%, I think. 30%
yeah, it's a lot. But do you know something that's going to be noted here? It's going to be a Spear of Magus on the soul. And this item is really strong right now.
You know what's coming next?
In terms of Magus on magical ADCs.
You know what's coming next?
It probably is
Typhons. Typhons.
It really should be the new item.
I don't know. I mean, it is good.
Broken. Yeah. Pikes King is going to pick up a kill in the middle lane onto Ghost Rider, which is going to be fantastic for them. The ult is going to come through from Jablonke as well. Nothing else is going to come of it. We do see a couple of ults actually expended there. Red Scroll popping the Jablonke ult, and then we're going to see I'm a Monster use as well as the same time as Ragnarok. On the other hand, we are seeing that Griffinizer used his ult. We've just seen Rivers of Butte popped from Gordon just then, maybe to peel for himself a little bit. And Alyssa actually gets soloed.
Solo?
I mean, he's very low, and the tier 1 tower is now gone. But the main thing is that, you know,
that's huge.
Solo
that's huge. I didn't see exactly what went on there. Wasn't watching it, but in in previous seasons, I've seen I've seen Alyssa run into a tower to tank tower shots, to shred the tower down, steal it, spam laughing it, just to die to the enemy ADC. And I don't know whether that happened or not, but it would have been amazing if it did. Honestly,
it would
I
have been very funny to watch if it did happen. I mean, it's very good for Reds Pro because he does have Viassian dominance now online. Do you know what? I mean, this solo lane is just a stalemate because Puko's playing against an Artia, because that god is it's Artia.
Yeah, it's and actually, to be fair, I think it seems to me, from what I've been watching, it seems like Izus has been getting the better in the lane. To be fair, it seems like he's been winning his trades for the most part. But I mean, overall, he's down a little bit still. But
are we going to see Ragnarok come through here? It is going to come through. Ultimate is going to be popped, and Puko might be in a little bit of trouble. But in the meanwhile, we are going to see the rest of Protective Yggdrasil over on the Gold Fury side of the map. Ragnarok is going to be popped by Fenrir, who is now backing on the solo side. Only Fury is going to be picked up by Protective Yggdrasil. It is falling incredibly quick as well. Now hitting the quarters of HP. Protective Yggdrasil do pick up that Oni Fury. Scarra's Blessing is going to be popped on himself, and it's going to be very unfortunate if he dies here, because here comes Ghost Rider picking up a kill onto Reds Pro, and Alyssa picking up another kill as well onto Ghoul Atomics, and that's 2 for nothing for Protective Yggdrasil, and the Oni Fury picked up as well.
I think this has all come because you've got this Fenrir, and you're planning to Kukulkan, and he's just not ganking this like the mid lane, and instead he's opting to go to solo. That's a nice kill.
He is going to fall. Who fall there? It was Gordon. Gordon, yeah, it does pop the Rivers of Buke, and it does die to Pikes King there. I actually think he got hit by the tower, but we are seeing a 5k gold lead now in the terms of on the hand of Protective Yggdrasil.
And a lot of the time they're just picking up. Oh no, they're really just picking up where, you know, as soon as Fenrir runs to solo, they run straight to gold, and it's the right call. Yeah, and to be honest, Fenrir, I just don't think he should be anywhere else apart from mid this whole game. He needs to just be sitting on Kukulkan.
He's 2 levels down as well on this Fenrir, which is very unfortunate.
Exactly, and every time he's got an ultimate that he's not using on Kukulkan, his team's essentially slipping further and further away from the W.
Yeah.
I feel
Speaking of Kukulkan, whilst we're on the subject, Tablet of Destinies.
Don't rate it personally.
No, bad item. Bad item.
Yeah, I don't rate it personally.
We are going to see this Pyromancer actually picked up by Protective Yggdrasil, and Puko's going to look to zone, and a lot of damage is going to come through. Protective Yggdrasil do pick up that Pyromancer, and here come all the rest of the members of Hakai now. That's a very, very nice
Such a nice stun.
Yeah, it is, from Gordon there, and it looks like Puko's just going to bully Zeus from now on, doing a lot of damage, and Solul is going to be popped now. Ultimate is going to be popped, and Ghoul Atomics is going to be clocked. Here comes the Iron Monster, but followed by a big dragon. I can't remember the name of that ultimate ability, but Spirit of the Nine Winds. Yeah, that's going to be popped, and it's going to pick up Ghoul's Atomics, and it looks like Protector just going to get out absolutely scot-free for that. But on the meanwhile, Reds Pro is going to split the duo side of the map. He isn't going to be able to take that tier 2 tower. Is that would you call that rotation worth it for Alyssa? And this might be worth it if they manage to get what I think they're going to do. They're picking up the Fire Giant, and Reds Pro gets soloed by Ghost Rider now as well.
I think they've definitely got the burn for it in this comp. They should be fine, and this is pretty
fair.
fair.
Are around this Fire Giant. It doesn't look like Alyssa actually wants to fight this, and this could be a nice fight here now for Hakai. Looks like Griffinizer takes a lot of damage, and it looks like there goes Fenrir picking up the kill onto Griffinizer there. Cuckoo is going to fall.
Oh, big damage!
Picking up, yep, nice crush from Brex picking up the kill onto Gordon, but a return kill for Alyssa onto Pax King. Reds Pro gets soloed on the duo side of the map by Ghost Rider, who is still slightly ahead, but we are going to see the Cyclopean Ring picked up now by Alyssa, and it's going to make a massive difference in terms of her damage output. Now 5-1 on Viscilla. They are going to opt to take the middle tower, and in the meanwhile, Ghost Rider's going to pick up another kill there onto Brex as well.
Yeah, and we're seeing there. I'm still seeing the Kepri use his 2 for damage, and I hate it. I really hate it. It hurts my soul to see it. It's such a valuable tool. I feel like, you know, I mean, Fenrir didn't. He had no mana to escape anyway. But instead of turning and autoing people like tanks for 10, he could. I feel like if Kepri had just thrown his 2 on him, he probably could have just walked away. It was unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunate. It was a little bit of a sloppy fight, but I mean, they got Kukulkan beads, so he should probably be able to come back and gank him.
Burning Bees objectives here is ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
with this soul, it is ridiculous. Yeah. Brex is in a lot of trouble here, and ultimate is going to be popped by Ghost Rider. Beads are going to be used in return by Brex. So that, I mean, if he takes note of that with his 2-level lead in the jungle, that could be very nice for him.
Ghost Rider's kind of running the game, mate, right now. Honestly, he's doing really well.
Rider himself and Alyssa are doing a fantastic job for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're looking really good as a team. Like a lot of individual stuff they're doing, and they're looking really quite good. I mean, Alyssa's.
Yeah, Fire Giant is going to be picked up, and here comes Red's Pro's ult. The Jelonke ult is going to be used, and the zoning by Puko here is absolutely phenomenal. Rivers of Butte going to be used on the Fire Giant to be able to pick that up, and I did see Pax King pick up a Puko and does manage to get that kill, but in return, here comes Ghost Rider picking up a kill onto Izus there. The ultimate is used by him and he does get pulled, which means it's a 1-for-1 and the Fire Giant going towards them. Oh my lord, that is a lot of damage, and ult is going to be used there. It is going to come through Scarra's Blessing, giving him the revive. Red's Pro does pick up a kill though onto Ghost Rider, and I did see the ult used from Ghost Rider. Alyssa picks up a kill onto Brex and picks up the double kill onto Pikes King. She ain't done yet though.
She'll kill him, man. Yeah, another
picking up a triple kill.
She ain't having none of it.
Jules Atomics. Triple kill from Alyssa there. Fire Giant is picked up, and then in the meanwhile, Griffinizer and Gordon just kill Ghost Rider as well. I think was it Ghost Rider?
There's just no real coordination here, is there? Really, for the side of Hakai, you've got Red's Pro frontlining in the Fire Giant pit, trying to 1v2, and you've got I don't know, your rest of your team's dying to a front line in Soul, and it's just a bit of a mess, honestly.
Yeah, Alyssa is going absolutely crazy here.
She's going nuts. She's doing so much damage, and they've got no reply to it. They've not been able to set up the damage for Brett as much as so they did last game, and they've gone back to this comp where they don't really. I mean, they've got a Kepri free for range CC, right? That he's not hitting. And there's just no follow. Last game we saw the Maui one, and you had the 4 walls, you had the Herc plucks, and it was setting up so much damage, and he's just dead.
Oh my god, he doesn't even need to ult. Blink, a couple of basics, and a Feather Step just deletes him. That is ridiculous. That was damage.
That's actually insane.
He doesn't even have Fire Giant.
Oh, that is insane.
He doesn't even have the Fire Giant, and he just smoked him like that. Ash is now 7-2 on this Awelix, 2 levels up on his counterpart. It looks like Protectors are just going to pressure this middle tower out, and I mean, if they see Izus in the solo lane, they may look to pressure this Phoenix as well.
We got Kepri thrown out his 2 for damage again.
Are going to be used here. Nothing really coming of it just yet. Gordon's going to take a lot of poke here. Ragnarok is going to be used on Gordon. I'm a Monster also popped. Healing just coming through here from Gordon, and not a great deal of anti-heal in turn. And here comes Spirit of the Nine Winds, missing all of the targets, but there's just so much damage coming out on the team on the side of Protectors of Yggdrasil, who are just able to do basically whatever they want at this current moment in time. Middle Phoenix falls. Now they head over towards the left tier 2 tower. Maybe an Oni Fury after that. We'll have to see what happens. But the most important part is 3 members of their team still with Fire Giant. They don't get any kills there, but I mean, the overall sustain for Protectors with the Fire Giant and the heals from Gordon, it's just doing so much for them because there's a massive lack of anti-heal on the side of Hakai.
I was actually gonna mention that when I was in that Fire Giant siege, those emoji heals were just going crazy.
Honestly.
There was all these scrappy fights going on, and meanwhile they're full health like straight away. Just absolutely, it's just an absolutely insane amount of healing that was coming out. It's just so
Gordon,
crazy. You've got a soul
I
with like.
called it at the beginning of this game, bro.
I mean, Gordon's got a well-known like A-class Yamoja.
Yeah.
You know, and we're in and we've got they've got the Fire Giant buff for extra sustain, and they've got him popping off his heals. It's just nuts. And you've got a soul with like quintuple life steal. Just absolutely
now has a Charon's coin
nuts.
and a Rod of Tahuti as well on top of that.
Yeah. Oh, she's going crazy.
I mean, she's level 20, but I mean, yeah, the other side of the map, Cullen's still level 16.
Yeah, it's been a reoccurring trend, I think, in this set. Even when Yggdrasil have been, absolutely hard stomping, they've not really tended to farm too well. Pucko's been kind of guilty of it. He shouldn't be level 16 at this point in the game.
He definitely shouldn't.
Lead on him.
I don't think it matters to them though, because they are going to pick up this Fire Giant, and Pucko is still doing a lot of work in terms of Ragnarok is going to be popped there. Ghost Rider's going to fall very, very low. I'm a Monster does come through for Brex, who is going to pick up that damage as well. Here comes the River of the Buke, and I see the Skyra's Blessing also has been used. Spirit of the Nine Winds is going to come through, and Alyssa is going to pick up a kill onto Red's Pro. There's a lot of zoning happening here, and Alyssa picks up another kill. She's just going absolutely crazy. Ezeus is going to fall. We're going to see a crush come through, and Alyssa's just basically frontlining right now on this soul. She's just doing whatever she wants. She's level 20. She's 10-1, going absolutely crazy. But they have to bear in mind that they don't have the greatest objective confirm on this map. And a matter of one crush from this Scylla could steal this Fire Giant and flip the game.
Yeah,
we are going to see Cullen go in there, and he is going to look to zone out Brex. And it's not going to matter because Protective Yggdrasil are just going to pick up this Fire Giant absolutely free. We're about 24 minutes into the game now, and they're just running with this lead that Alyssa has, really. Ash is doing a fantastic job of putting on pressure. Puko's doing, even though Puko is only level 17, he's doing an amazing job of zoning. And overall, Alyssa's just doing whatever she wants. She's basically frontlining. Alyssa 0 wards.
0 wards. I spoke to Alyssa about.
Don't need wards if the other team's dead, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, actually, it's something that a quote from Scroll, and I'm not going to bother warding if I'm proactively murdering people or along those lines. I haven't got time to ward. I'm too busy murdering, and that's kind of Alyssa right now.
Is going to be picked up on Ghost Rider by Pax King in the middle lane. Rivers of Butte does come through, and is the Phoenix going to fall? Is the question. It does. A crush comes through from Brex, doing a lot of damage. Gordon is on the very low here, and the plug does come through. I'm a Monster is going to connect, and Gordon is very low here. Spirit of the Nine Winds managing to hit Ghoul Atomics, dropping in very low.
How on earth did
Ghoul
he get
Atomics
out?
actually dies. Puko's going back in as well and managed to pick up Brex. This is absolutely game over. Brex is dead. Pax King, Ghoul Atomics, Reds Pro, everyone's still alive on the side of Protectors of Yggdrasil, and they're just going to walk in and end this game with this Fire Giant.
I do not actually
understand.
Alive,
and I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anti-heal, bro. Anti-heal.
I also think there was a slight inefficiency in the way Silly used the abilities. I don't know if they were up or down. I think she should have probably won two, rooted, crushed, then ulted, or at least 1 and 2, and she should have been dead. I think he just popped his ult, threw it out, and she escaped. I don't know if the crush was up, but if you sort of crush comboed the ult, you had enough time. I think he would have died there. It's unfortunate, but a really well played game there from Protectors of Yggdrasil. It was kind of a nuts one to watch, honestly, and I'm really struggling to think of like who would be the MVP for that game, because on the one hand, you've got Gordon, who's just always an unsung hero in a lot of these games. He just went absolutely nuts on the emoji. Like, the healing he put out was insane. You've got Alyssa that was playing both jungle, ADC, and solo, all in the same.
Be interested to see how much healing that Gordon actually did, because he didn't even get his
12k.
Yeah,
and if you think of it this way, right? Gordon, he did 12k of healing, right? he's basically done more healing at this point than what Fenrir has done damage.
Yeah,
you know?
basically, mate.
And also, I mean, most of Isus's damage at the same time, and you think you're with that level of healing, you're effectively the solo effectively doesn't, like the enemy solo effectively just doesn't exist, right? Because any of the damage that he's tried to put out is just nullified. Like it's just not happening. It's just getting healed up straight away.
Yeah.
And it's
I mean,
it's a
in
tough
terms
one.
in terms of overall like play from the teams, I think what we saw in this set overall was when a team manages to get a lead, they're able to win off of that lead. We saw it in game 2 with Hakai getting that lead. We saw it in game 1 with Protectors getting that lead, and we saw it again in game 3. I think Protectors put it into a bit higher of effect than Hakai did in game 2. It seemed like a lot of game 2 was very scrappy and it could have gone either way, really. But in terms of actually getting an overall lead, Protectors did a fantastic job of it and did a fantastic job of playing around their strengths, being Alyssa and Puko doing some fantastic zoning. I mean, even overall, Griffinizer, even though with disrespect to this Cuckoo Khan pick, it wasn't fantastic, but he still did a lot of damage. He got all his kit off before he died, if he did die.
He did, yeah. And I think that Hakai kind of like dropped the ball a little bit there because they had this fantastic opportunity to just hard camp a Cuckoo, and it's the free mid lane. And they just didn't. I don't know why. I don't know what was going on, but we saw the Fenrir go there once, and then I never saw him again. Just never saw him again. He went to solo. I don't understand why. And the other big thing is just the comp in general. Like we were talking last game about the incredible amounts of like range CC that they had to set up for Brett on the mid lane. And they and then this game they drafted a Kepri route, which never hit. And they just had nothing. They just had no setup. You had an RTO that was just running around doing stuff, and there was just nothing. There was just nothing there for them to play off. They had no real beads burn, so you're never getting value out of the Fenrir role. I just didn't like the comp. I just didn't like what they drafted at all. And I think they got really hard punished for it because they got this a Willix pick when they got a top pick Scylla, and then they got a later pick Fenrir, and then the Willix is open. It's like the two hardest counter matchups for those.
They should have maybe thought about that in terms of picks and bans. I think overall, in terms of the actual play of the game, I think I would have to give my Alyssa to my MVP to Alyssa. I think she had a fantastic game 1 where she pretty much carried in terms of game 1. She's done exactly the same in game 3, just with a little bit of assistance. In game 2, it was kind of outshone because there was a couple of different things happening. I mean, neither of the ADCs had a great game. I love me some support gameplay. You know just as well as anyone else that I love me some gameplay on support, and I called out this Shimoja in picks and bans because I do love that god. I still think she's probably one of the top 4 supports in the game right now.
In my opinion, I think the game 1 was I would give MVP to the Athena. Honestly,
you think?
Yeah, I think the Athena ults, like the presence he put out around the map, it's easy to overlook what a support is doing.
100%.
In game 1, the Athena ults, that some of the taunts, like it was both peel, it was aggressive peel. He was everywhere on the map. He was peeling for his team. He was setting up plays. He did so good on the Athena. I think game 2 is obvious. I think that goes to Brett probably. And then game 3 is actually really tough because Ghost Rider
very tough.
Well, on the one hand, you got Ghost Rider on your Willix, who absolutely hard carried the early mid game, right? And he put his team in a position to just completely snowball. And he did that, and they did. And then you've got Alyssa that just went bark wild on the soul. But I think I think that was kind of a lot of it was kind of facilitated. I think I'd give it to the Willix. I think because even though the stat line might not show it, the presence that he had around the map, the ganks, the pressure that he put out. Just absolutely nuts.
Yeah. I think if I was to probably sum it up, I would probably say game 1 would have to go to Puko for me. The game 1 column was just too much for Hakai to handle. He did a fantastic job in, I would add all 3 games in terms of zoning because he's just been fantastic throughout this whole set. I think his farming could definitely improve throughout the game, but that is what the lower division games are for. It's for getting advice from higher division players and being able to improve your own individual game. I think with some help, Puko could be a phenomenal player. I think he could be really, really good.
He could be an absolute demon in
yes,
this LD.
100%.
I mean, he looks like it anyway, to be fair, but the farming game is very poor.
Yes.
Well, not very poor, but no, it is. It is poor. Like you're very, very, very far ahead, and you never really had a lead over your lane.
Yeah.
Well, your lane opponent.
I mean, game one he did. That's the thing.
Yeah.
In game one, he had that lead. He was up like 5 levels. So
Yeah.
that's why I would probably say it in that game. In game two, you've got to give it to Breakthrough. When I think he ended up 11-0, 11-0-9 with a 15.5 KDA. It's just absolutely ridiculous what he did. He actually earned the right to get his pick respect band. And I mean, I think the Protectors did a fantastic job of going into the final game and knowing that they needed to ban out these certain gods to be able to win.
Yeah,
and then from there,
sure.
it just took them out of the comfort zone because Brett had played the Yu Wang for 2 games. It might be a little bit uncomfortable moving forward. And with this pick, Ghost Rider, like you said, did a fantastic job in this third game of putting on pressure in the early game and managing to push his team into the late game. When you've got gods like Soul who got a big lead, you've got gods like Cuckoo Khan who can do fantastic damage in terms of the late game, and then you had Gordon who just went crazy on this Yamaja and did so much healing, more facilitating for his team than anything else, which is what I like to see out of a Yamaja player.
Yeah, for sure. And Gordon has a mean Yamaja, and he showed it here. And this is one of the beautiful things for anyone that's not a jungler really in this meta is there are so many junglers being banned at the moment. It leaves open so many picks that I'm honestly quite surprised.
Well, I'm gonna have some fun, mate.
Yeah, I mean, like the Yamaja's getting through, the Mao is getting through. You know, like I'm even seeing maybe not as strong as he used to be. Obviously, just Bluestone's king now, but like you can get like your Chronoses can go through, and your Hades can go through, your Kepri goes through. There's just so many picks at the moment that can go through because of just how
I can remember going into
jungle
games in last season, and pretty much like most games having 2 to 3 Guardians banned off of me. And now
literally.
now it's so hard to do that, to be able to not let through value in terms of support. And I think right now support is probably behind jungle as the second best role in the game, I would say.
You know what, Cheeto? I've agreed with 99% of your takes tonight, but the fact that you said that and not solo is quite criminal, to be honest with you. And with
I think solo's very questionable because once you've got a lead, it's quite easy to project that lead.
Yeah, I've got one word for you before we sign off for the night, mate, and that's Bluestone diff. Sorry,
Bluestone diff. Yeah, we will go with that. That's going to be it. It's been a pleasure to cast for everyone. I've been Cheeto. Obviously, with that, Ben, thank you to my friend Ginger Archer on production. Congratulations to Protectors of Yggdrasil for picking up this 2-1 win in this first game of Season 10 Galeria Smite League Season 3 LD.
Yeah, well done, everybody. Thanks for putting on such a great set.